A United Nations report says that more than a quarter of the world's population doesn't have access to safe drinking water.
Near Abidjan, Ivory Coast, women and children stand in a river, pouring water into buckets that they carry home on their heads. A woman named Mrs. Ibrahim explains that some of the children get stomach infections from the water and that her pregnant sister has a chronic infection. A new United Nations report says 26% of the world's population doesn't have access to safe drinking water, and 46% lack access to basic sanitation. I'm Donna Warder.
French President Macron says the pension bill that he pushed through without a parliamentary vote needs to be implemented by the end of the year. The bill would raise the retirement age in France from 62 to 64. News and analysis at townhall.com. It's a 4-year prison sentence for a man who attacked police during the U.S. Capitol riot.
Prosecutors say Jeffrey Sills from Virginia arrived with a gas mask and goggles, stole a flashing strobe light to disorient officers, and assaulted them with a stolen baton at the Capitol's Lower West Terrace tunnel. Sills' attorney says his client did not come to Washington with the intention of committing violence. He brought technical gear out of fear there was going to be a terrorist attack. But prosecutors say Sills posted video, later deleted. In one post showing officers in riot gear, Sills wrote, "Visited the Capitol today." In another post showing rioters flooding into the tunnel, he wrote, "Took a tour." Ed Donahue, Washington.
This is the second day of the 3-day Los Angeles public school strike. No classes again today in the nation's second largest public school district. The strike by service workers is being supported by teachers in Los Angeles. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That will be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's having a good day.
Oh, yeah.
It's warm out.
It's nice.
Like I came out, I was like, nice.
Yeah, not even jacket weather. I was like, ooh, this is pleasant.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 80 today. It's going to be windy, but, you know, we do have a
welcome to spring.
Wind advisory, but it's going to be 80. It's like living in one of those hairdressers, those old school hairdressers with a big bowl thing.
That's why I'm trying to rock the hair mitt today. I sort of worked it out, but yeah.
It's also good for debris. If you put enough shellac spray on that sucker, it'll, not a huge branch, but a small branch. It'll bounce right off there.
Debris is actually a nice name.
Debris.
It would make a nice name.
Debris Johnson, how you doing?
Debris Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Any fans of Arrested Development out there?
Hey, someone out there probably listening. Named Debris. Going, yeah, Debris is a fine name.
It is. It is indeed.
I'm a fan. Well, happy Wednesday to everyone out there, including you Debris. True Debris. But hope you're having a good Wednesday.
Yes.
Not bad. Got Got boxing this weekend. Matter of fact, I'm going to replay our interview. We had Ray Baca joined us yesterday with the Golden Gloves, and they're doing the New Mexico Golden Glove State Championships here at Roswell High
The
Gym.
75th, right?
75th.
Yes.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's all at the Roswell High Gym. They're going to have everything from youth to adults competing and hoping to get on to
in separate categories.
Yes,
okay.
not with each other, but yeah, and hoping for.
Did you see Jim? He was just wailing on a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, not that.
Not that. No.
no. But aspirations. These people you see could be Olympians.
He was aspirating. Did you see him? Aspirations. Sorry.
That'd be a good song. Aspiration. But anyway. Hey. Anyway. I'm easily distracted.
Yeah.
But so that's come up this weekend. So we're going to play the interview this hour we had with Ray talking all about the event, talking about Golden Gloves boxing in New Mexico. It's a cool little interview. So we'll play that for you this hour.
Quite the legacy.
What's that?
Quite the legacy.
See. In the 8 o'clock hour schedule, have the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters join us. So we'll get an update from them on things happening through Big Brothers Big Sisters. And then, of course, I guess it'll just be Bobby. Because Kim is now moved back to Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when she was on last month, she was telling us that she's getting ready
She was passing the torch.
leave town, and Bobby was going to be coming in. So we'll see Bobby at about 8:15 today. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Crystal Noble with the Humane Society here in Roswell will join us, give us an update on pets available for adoption and any deals, specials, events they've got going on through the thrift store or at the actual shelter itself. We'll learn you about.
Indeed.
See. I still haven't got my wife to watch the Grease thing. I was talking about that. She was kind of. I don't get it.
You don't get why they're doing it?
No. I don't get why she doesn't at least want to see one episode. I know. I get
do.
She thinks it's gonna, but I would have a FOMO deal if I was her.
I feel like she's disappointed.
Probably, but she hasn't seen enough to really.
No, but I think
formulate
that's that she's the fact that they're even doing anything. Like, I can understand when you think that something is perfect the way it was.
Yeah.
There's a few examples that, over time, that have happened over the years that I have bore witness to. One prime one being the show Boy Meets World. That is encapsulated as a series. It is a perfect story. Boy literally met world. It was perfect. 15 years later, Disney decided, hey, we've got a pretty successful IP that we've managed to syndicate on 17 different networks. So let's do Girl Meets World about Corey's daughter. It was garbage. Now, yes, I watched almost every episode, hoping for the best, expecting the worst, but hoping for the best. And it definitely tarnished my feelings about both the original series and the sequel or the reboot. So I understand where she's coming from that perspective.
I know, but
it did. Well, it didn't ruin it necessarily. It's just it's harder to go back and watch it now.
But let me ask you this: is Boy Meets World was your favorite television show of all time?
No, I would say top 5.
Okay, because Grease is by far her favorite movie of all time.
I would say top 5. It's right up there with like Scrubs. Scrubs is probably my 1 seed. It's probably the best show of all time. But Boy Meets World, because I watched it and I was part of that show for such a transitionary point of my life.
Yeah.
It's when I first actually decided that or found out that I was a man, identified as a man.
Good.
So I was born a lady, but I identified as a man after Boy Meets World.
He watched and said, "Who's going to meet the world
That's
today?
Right. Is it going to be a boy? It's
or
going to be a boy
or a man
or a man meets world." That's weirder. So no, it was a big part of my like childhood. We'll call it adolescence, I think for a better term. So it was important, but I wouldn't say necessarily probably stands on that same pedestal that Grease does for Kim.
That's where I'm saying it. Like I would figure if it's something that your favorite movie of all time, and there was Grease 2, and we all know that was an abomination. I mean, some would argue Grease 1 is.
Does she like Grease live?
I don't know. She's watched a live version of the play. She didn't go on Broadway and watch it, but she watched
like the Fox
Oh, no, we generally don't watch
it.
televised.
Do you think Grease 2 is the reason she doesn't want to try the reboot? I mean, it makes sense because she's seen what happens when it's put in the hands of people less than Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta.
Yeah. But
Olivia
I don't know.
Newton-John
I just
Travolta.
figure after 30 years or however many years it's been, you would think, and then and to be honest, the trailer doesn't really indicate one way or another. To me, it looked just like the Grease trailer.
It looks exactly
they're
the same.
Lama Ding Dong and all over the place.
It all looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've witnessed this happen to many of those franchises. I'm not a humongous fan of this term, but I couldn't think of any other way to describe it. It's basically woke Grease.
Yeah, and
it seems like all the pink ladies are different ethnicities, and then they're trying to do a representation thing, which cool. I get what you're doing, but it's like, okay. Prime example in the trailer. There's a point where it's basically an interaction between a guy and a girl, and he says, "Just go with the flow. Things usually work out okay." And she goes, "Yeah, for you." And it puts things in perspective. It's like, okay, this is going to be one of those. You realize it's like 13 Reasons Why. It's like, okay, well now we're going to see things from the different perspective of things and realize why chauvinism is wrong in the 50s, and they're going to put us in our place.
Maybe, I don't know, but you got to. I would at least watch.
They're
going to
remind us why the good old days weren't good.
But
and that's as good as we think they were.
And maybe it is. I don't know. But if I loved Grease, I would at least watch one episode to say, this is complete garbage as I expected. I'm done. Or, it wasn't that bad. I'll give it another shot, and I figure, like, okay, I get it. I think it's a League of Their Own. Like, she watched the movie A League of Their Own. She loves that movie. Not Grease level, but she loves it. And the League of Their Own TV series was not the same.
And I think that's what they're going to do with Grease.
And maybe, but you got to at least go see. I would hate to be the person that FOMO'd, fear of missing out, because you had a preconceived notion that wasn't accurate.
Are you familiar?
Without looking.
So FOMO is a big deal, but are you familiar with the term FOGO?
I guess not.
It's fear of going out.
Oh.
It's the fear of putting yourself out there, of being out in the public, or in
but
this
people are putting
situation.
that on T-shirts.
It's true. In this situation, it's the fear of putting yourself into a situation where you might not like the thing that you're bearing witness to.
Right. You might not, but you never know unless you take a dance, man. That's life. Take the
dance. Dance you learn as you go, man. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. All right, Clay Walker, why don't you break it down for us?
I'm saying, I mean, if it's your favorite all-time movie.
And I could see if she doesn't want to see it from the trailer. Like, there's some things where I just know I'm not going to like it just from the trailer.
Yeah.
Like the Ghostbusters 2016 one. Like, I knew I wasn't going to like that movie, but
I've still never
watched
seen that.
it.
Okay,
But I know it's a bad movie, even though I've never watched it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, okay? So just hear that out.
Okay.
What if all the reasons y'all are explaining why not to watch it are the very reasons why you should watch it? Like you just pointed out earlier about how, from the perspective of the pink ladies, they're saying, well, maybe we should see that. Sure. We don't know. Maybe that'll give you a perspective. Maybe it's how that's done. I'm okay with. Like, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not living with blinders on. I know the world I live in is not perfect and things aren't going to be perfect.
I feel like the Grease of 2023 is going to make the Grease fan of the 1970s or whenever it came out feel bad about being a fan of the series. And it's going to point out all the things that are wrong with the series from today's perspective.
And it might. And it might. But you got to at least try it.
Sure.
That's my opinion. Watch one episode and then you say all those things. I'm like, fine. You watch an episode, good. Just to see a 30-second, which to me was just a bunch of dancing, and you saw pink ladies, you saw T-Birds, you saw Ramadama Ding Dong, and it was like Grease, the pink ladies. Come see it. And I'm like, that's a bit not enough to judge it on.
I think that you saw it from a different perspective because you were like, oh, music.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled that I don't have to sit through this tribe to get.
I love Mike's like, I won. She finally's going to watch an episode. Oh, damn it. That means I have to watch an episode.
Yeah, I'm not winning. I don't want to see this stuff, but I'd hate for my wife to miss an opportunity on something she really likes.
Or it's like Star Trek and Star Wars, where it feels like the original, but then you actually watch it, and it's like some subversive Ryan Johnson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be, but you got to at least watch an episode to determine that.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. Don't preconceive it based on a 30-second trailer that really didn't show you anything.
I would say that I would argue that Kim should give it one episode, but I feel like that okay.
That's all I'm saying.
But I feel like she planted her flag early.
She might have.
And now she has to die on the hill.
Probably.
I think that's
she
what's
can't like
down.
it now.
Yeah.
She can't really like it.
Right. And I'm Kim. I'm trying here, dude. I'm trying. I just duded your wife.
I'm doing this at 7:18, wondering if she's even caught any of it.
Her eyes opening up to me going, dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying here.
Well, have I gotten any? I have not yet, so maybe she's still sleeping. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to get to our Golden Globes interview going here, so let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like all the rain will be staying to our north. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Low pressure moving through, and that means gusty wind for us as high as 45 miles per hour and very warm. Our highs 75 to 80. Cloudy overnight, still windy, and our low in the upper 40s, and then we'll be in the low 70s and a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up on Thursday, and the gusty wind continues. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 42%. Winds currently out of the south at 10 miles per hour. We do have a wind advisory today. That's going to kick in at 11. That will remain in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. Expect patchy blowing dust for this afternoon. Partly cloudy and a high of 81. Winds will be blowing out of the southwest 15 to 20 early, increasing 25 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour later today. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 48. Winds will remain windy out of the southwest 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. We'll see those winds drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Thursday, partly cloudy. Expect a high of 73. Windy, once again. East winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour by Thursday afternoon. Friday, looking at sunny skies, cooler. I have only 65 on Friday, which, compared to 80 and all that, it's a little bit different. What we're getting today. Winds will be out of the northwest 10 to 15, picking up 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Friday afternoon. And then for the weekend, sunny on Saturday, expect highs right around 69 degrees, sunny and 70 on Sunday, and looks like upper 60s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we'll see, but 80 today. But windy. All right, 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, we're going to take a minute and a half commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we have with Ray Baca talking about the Golden Gloves state championships this weekend at Roswell High. That's up next. Don't go away.
Get lucky all month long at Roswell Nissan. With a lot stocked with great new and pre-owned vehicles, and with zero down on nearly every vehicle, you'll save a pot of gold. Like a 2016 Ford F-350, zero down, just $439 a month. Or a 2021 Nissan Versa, zero down, just $221 a month. How about a 2014 Toyota Camry, zero down and only $189 a month? And if that's not enough, does no payments for 90 days sweeten the pot? Come save a little extra green during the Luck of the Irish sales event at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-817-2871. 800-817-2871. 800-817-2871. That's 800-817-2871.
At Artesia General Hospital, we want to help you feel better faster. And when prescribed by your provider, IV therapy can be one of the quickest ways to help you feel well again. Our infusion center services include antibiotic or allergen therapies, blood transfusions, and medication infusions for chronic conditions like Crohn's disease and osteoporosis. Whether you choose care at the clinic or hospital, you can expect a highly skilled staff and a private, safe setting with your comfort in mind. Referrals and appointments are required. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/infusion.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking little Golden Gloves boxing with us this morning, we have Ray Baca with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Well, we got an exciting weekend coming up here in Roswell. New Mexico, the Roswell High Gym.
That's correct.
This weekend we'll be hosting the New Mexico Golden Gloves 75th Championship. So 75th anniversary of the state championships for Golden Gloves boxing here in New Mexico, and it's happening this weekend right here in Roswell at the Roswell High Gym. And it's going to be really 3 exciting days of youth and adult boxing, right?
That's correct.
This isn't just high school kids. This is youth and all amateurs. I imagine with aspirations of hopefully,
That's very
becoming
true.
pro someday.
Yeah, we're real excited. Actually, it started here in Roswell years and years ago.
Okay.
In 48.
So kind of bringing it back home for 75th.
It's coming home for the 75th.
Cool.
We're real excited about that. As a matter of fact, I had talked with the other board members about it coming back last year, and they said, no, we're going to do it in Berlin one more year.
Okay.
But the 75th, you guys get it back.
All right, we'll make the big one the nice
Exactly.
75th, a good number, and so here it is this weekend coming up. So talk a little bit about for folks that aren't familiar with how Golden Gloves and how how kind of give a little bit of background on Golden Gloves and how it's it's like kind of like if anybody could compare it to like how baseball has minor leagues and things,
right?
Golden Gloves is kind of boxing's minor leagues, right?
That's pretty. That's
is that
very
a fair comparison? I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, because this is amateur. This is amateur boxing.
Sure.
Back in the 60s and 70s, there used to be like there was 8 regions here throughout the state, including Roswell, Clovis, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Carlsbad, Farmington. Can't remember the other. There was 8 regions, and each region would have their Golden Glove tournament.
Okay.
And then the state tournament would be held in Roswell.
Gotcha.
This would be
so each section's champions would again square off for the state champion.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
And but what's happened now, because there's so many other sports and so much going on. You have your MMA, you have UFC fighting.
Sure.
And so we don't have the numbers that we once had. We don't have those great numbers.
So you're losing fighters to the other MMA and other styles of martial arts and things.
And yes, that's one of them. The other thing, we find that some of them are going pro earlier.
Okay.
Even when we fought, we were at 20, 21 years old and still fighting amateur. We're now when they're turning 20, 21, they're turning professional.
Trying to get the paydays.
Exactly.
Got to feed your kids, man.
That's very true. Very, very true. But it's a very fun time.
Sure.
Yeah. Now the state tournament, everybody goes to the state tournament.
This is the big, this is
it.
To borrow a term, which I'm technically not allowed to do, but this is the Super Bowl of fighting for here in New Mexico.
Amateur boxing here in New Mexico. Yeah.
Good deal.
One of the things I did want to share with you, and I don't know, I haven't talked to you about this, but we have now what is called, our franchise is Colorado, New Mexico.
Okay.
That's our franchise. So the fighters from here, the ones that win state here, will go next weekend. They'll fight against the state champions from Colorado.
Okay. So it'll be like a regional.
Exactly. It's a regional. And that team goes to the nationals.
So if they do well at regionals, then they go on for their national Golden Gloves championships.
That's correct. And this year, the national tournament is going to be held in Chester, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's right out of Philadelphia. And to add to that was last year, the Colorado New Mexico team were national champions.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That is
I
so
was
cool.
very glad to be there to see New Mexico, Colorado win national. And
That's
before
great to see.
Yeah, Texas had won it like 3 years in a row.
Well, they have a bigger pool of people.
There's a lot of truth to that statement. There's a lot of truth to that statement. But yeah, and then like I said, they were national champions last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. And so what's because we have youth and we have adults. So what's the youngest that we'll see boxing this weekend?
So you'll probably see some 9-10-year-old kids.
Okay.
Young men and young ladies.
Okay.
So it's evolved, and we do have the state tournament. It is inclusive of both male and female.
Cool.
So you'll see some of the young ones, and then once they get into the open class, and then you're going to start seeing your 18 years old on.
Sure. People that are having dreams, aspirations to fight,
Yes.
whether it's to make the next level or just to see what they got.
Exactly.
That's where you're going to see the open class folks there.
And now, as I was saying earlier, we had a young lady out of Las Cruces. She was our first female national champion last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have
we got some talent that's going to be on display. So
Yes, we do.
You might be seeing people on this stage this weekend that might be on a national stage. Could be, whether it's Golden Gloves or the Olympics or a professional bout here. These are you could come back and be like, dude, I remember seeing that fighter at the Golden Gloves in Roswell this week. They were in the youth division or they were in the open class. Or now they're here.
In 2018, we had a kid, Abraham Pettis, out of Albuquerque, won the nationals, and then was on his way to the Olympic team. As a matter of fact, the guy that he beat a guy twice, but somebody else beat him. So that other guy went in his place to the Olympic, was an Olympian out of was a 126. But anyway, like you said, we have some talent in New Mexico.
Yeah, so
we
come
have
on.
some talent right here in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah. So we're going to see the state's finest this weekend
That is
here
correct.
at Roswell High. Now, so first bell will be 7 p.m. on the 24th.
That's correct.
And then it'll be a night of fighting there. And then the next night, the 25th, will be another night of fighting. And then the 26th is championship day and all the championship bouts.
That's correct.
And so you're going to want to try to go to all 3 days. But if you only got one day, the 26th sounds like the day you definitely don't want to miss.
Really, that's very true. That's the best of the best.
Okay.
So, but again, it's fight time 7 o'clock on Friday. On Saturday, fight time is at 4 o'clock.
Okay, so you get there a little earlier. We got
Yeah.
so there'll be probably a few more cards on that evening's
Yes.
festivities.
And then on Sunday, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now these fights do for obviously I imagine the youth, they probably go 3 rounds or something like that.
And they're all 3 rounds. It's just depending on their age and their weight.
Sure.
The littler ones you'll see a minute a round.
Gotcha.
But they all go 3 rounds. They're in the intermediates. They're 2-minute rounds. And then you go to the 3-minute rounds.
Okay. Now, when they get to the open class and the adults, is it the same rules or is it a little bit different?
The
for them?
rules pretty much apply, yes.
Okay, so they'll still fight 3 rounds as well.
Yeah,
too.
everybody goes 3.
You only see the 12-round bouts like Rocky and WBA, IB, those welterweight battles and championship
those are
heavyweight
big
battles.
boys, yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool. And what I like about this too is especially when you get the young ones, when you get those 8-9-year-olds. I love because that they're learning fundamentals at that point. It's not about knocking people out, or it's about learning to protect yourself, learning the proper way to punch, the proper way to defend yourself, the proper way to be in the ring, the proper way to train, the proper way to they're learning all that. So I imagine you get a few of these kids that start at 8 and they find the bug and love it and keep doing it. They probably turn out the best boxers because they're getting the right foundation for it. You know what I mean? Like you get some kids that you get into fighting and that they excel at it, but they may not got the fundamentals that some of these young kids get, and you're at a real disadvantage when you don't have the fundamentals of boxing, because boxing is a lot more than what you see a Rocky movie on TV. It's a whole lot more than that, and it's about skill and strength and
preparation
aren't always the things that help you. It's tactics and leverage and the skill set. That's what makes you a great boxer. No, all of us can be Mike Tyson and punch somebody out one punch, but if you can go 12 rounds and do all that and keep your legs and everything, that's the real athleticism of the sport of boxing.
That's very true. You hit the hammer right on the head there.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the like you said, they're starting at a younger age, and they're better prepared. That way, when they do get to that point,
sure,
they can excel and do something special with it if they truly that's what they want to do.
Absolutely.
And we, like I said, we have a lot of talent here, and you see them. And I've seen through the years is we did this with the Boys and Girls Club years ago. You know, we had a really great program. And you see the kids develop, and you see them develop, and he goes, and just like you said earlier, it's just, I remember when that kid was just,
Sure. And now how many of these kids go on to do better things with other aspects of their life? Maybe they were lacking confidence or lacking some discipline or lacking some of those skills. Now that they've learned some of that through boxing, they can incorporate that into their school, or, you know, if they go on to, maybe they you know, all of us grow up to be boxers, some go on to be doctors, lawyers, and other things, but those skills they learned in the ring are going to translate to help them as whatever path they choose, you know?
And you know, that is so true. I can see some of the guys that we grew up with as they were, you know, because although it's an individual sport, it's still a team sport.
Absolutely.
Because those guys that you spar with every day, those guys that you work out with every day, those guys that you travel with, you know, it's those same guys, and you see each other develop, and you learn that team concept.
Absolutely.
And what going to make you better? How do you prepare? You know, the same thing in school. This is teaching you basically a lot of those same things, and then as far as athletically, you know, to be a boxer, you got to have quick hands. And, you know, to be a baseball player, you know, you got to be able to move your feet. You got to be able to
Sure.
It adds to so much of your daily life, whether it be another sport or just life itself.
Yeah. Just to give, I'm kind of curious, just you as myself, like for some of these, for a box, let's go with some of the youth boxing. What's typically like a training regime for a boxer? Say like a teenager. What's typically what a teenager's doing to get ready for a fight? What kind of things are they doing?
A lot of road work.
Okay.
Got to get a lot of road work in. You also, you know, you do your calisthenics, you know, get your body good and stretched, get warmed up, and get ready to go jump rope, shadow boxing, hitting the heavy bag, and then usually some sparring with some of your teammates.
Gotcha. Is it because you got to really balance the agility, and, you know, you got to be light and quick on your feet, but got to have a hammer to punch with that. And some people can have the hammer but aren't light on their feet, or they're light on their feet but they're throwing, you know, little gnat bugs at you. You know, so it's really tricky to be able to balance power with controlling
speed.
it and speed and everything else. Yeah, that's the real art of the sport.
And some of that, like you said, is when you hit that heavy bag and the coach is holding, and you know, you can hear the pop.
Yeah,
you can hear the pop in that bag. And there is some weightlifting. You know, there's
sure, you gotta have strength in there.
You got to strengthen that. But at the same time, you don't want to get too bulky, because you won't be able to punch. Yeah, you got to be able to move, and quick hands. Got to have those quick hands.
Yeah. You ever notice? Usually, some of the best baseball pitchers don't look like athletes. They kind of look kind of pot-bellied and not very defined. It's because pitchers, yes, they need strength, but they got to be loose. They got to be, you know, if they're tight in muscle, they can't get the proper rotation. So, you know, that you know, when we talk about an athlete, and so if you've muscled up, sure, you're probably in good shape, but there's certain things that don't work well. Boxing's one of those.
You know what? Actually, when we were coming up and stuff, we didn't see us lifting very much weights. But now you want more strength.
Sure.
But you know,
you got to be flexible.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you still got to be quick.
Yeah.
And give them a little pop just to keep their respect.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you look at like the boxing greats Muhammad Ali. You look at Muhammad. He wasn't small dude, but he wasn't like buff. You know why he was great? It was the rope-a-dope. You know how much agility and skill it takes to do what he did in a ring like that forget 3 rounds for 12 rounds, you know? and that's what but if he was looking like Hulk Hogan in that ring, 80s Hulk Hogan, not now. Right. He probably wouldn't been able to pull that move off. I'm just, you know, that's what, you know, so that's kind of what you're talking a little bit about.
You have to attribute it to that quickness, quick on your feet, quick hands, you know, being able to move front and back, side to side, just slip those punches.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of preparation that people don't. You just don't go in and just start slugging.
Sure.
You learn how to fight. You gotta learn how to box.
Let me ask you this too, because hopefully we want to get everyone to come out. Like I said, 7 o'clock Friday, the 24th, 4 p.m. on Saturday the 25th, and then 1 o'clock for the championship Sunday on the 26th. Tickets, can they get them at the door?
Just get them at the door. That's correct.
Youth, or if you're children 5 to 17, just $5. Adults $10. Veterans and seniors $7. And here's the thing: I want you go and check it out. But I would love to see if there's some youth or some folks that are interested, and maybe they want to get involved with boxing. This is a good weekend to talk to some of these fighters, talk to the trainers, talk to Ray and some of the other event planners here. And who knows? Maybe this is your springboard into doing some boxing yourself.
As a matter of fact, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he had talked about some of his kids. He says, Ray, he says, just bring them on down. If we need to introduce them to somebody, if they're truly interested,
sure,
we'll guide them in the right direction.
So come out, watch the fights, and then if you have an interest in, come out, talk to these boxers and trainers, and I'm sure many of them, maybe not when they're getting ready for the fight, but afterwards or when they're not.
Prior to, that's correct. Yeah, sure.
When they're not in the middle of something, talk to them. They'll be happy to share their love of the sport with you and get more. Because I imagine every boxer out there, they want the sport to grow. They want more people involved. So if there's people with an interest, they'd love to have you as part of this too. And who knows, maybe this weekend you're stepping stone to something with boxing, future in boxing. So.
Very, very special. I tell you what, you see these kids, and I've been watching these kids, and you say we see them evolve. We see them evolve, and like you said, we're trying. Brought this back to Roswell because I really believe this is where it belongs. This is where it started, and we want to get those young men and young ladies out there. If you're interested, come on down.
Well, I imagine that's the cool part for you at this point. Why you do it, why you're here and doing all this, because it's those moments when that new person gets in, or they get what's going on, and now they see the benefits and see, when that kid has that first success, they get their first, they execute their first, moves correctly, or they're able to complete a boxing match, or, whatever it is.
Sure.
Those are the moments that you probably enjoy and get to really take out of this kind of
That's so very true.
Not working. Unconnected. How about now? Did my mic? You keep going. But
anyway,
okay.
One of the things that we were able to do is a lot of the old fighters, the guys that we kind of came up together.
Sure.
They're out there helping, because this is something that it's very special to them as well.
Absolutely.
And we're just excited about the whole thing. The people in this community have been very supportive, and we truly do appreciate the support of the community.
That's great.
The volunteers. So it's something.
Going to make it a good weekend.
Likewise, really. That's what we're looking to.
So come check it out. Even if you don't know anything about boxing, you want to come see it. Come see it for yourself. Come out and enjoy these live fights. Like you said, you're going to be seeing everything from your youth, your 8-9-year-olds, up to adults. And you might even see a few people your age out there trying to get her done out there. But that's the great part about it, is we get to see these. You get to see the hard work and dedication. The training and win or lose. I mean, they all want to win. That's the whole point. But win or lose, you can appreciate the whole efforts and athleticism and what these athletes do to get ready for these fights. It's really it's something to see.
It really is. I had a young man years ago that he had lost his first 3 out of 4 fights, and then something all of a sudden just clicked, and he became a really good fighter. But his struggles early, they were struggles for him. He had lost a couple, won, then lost again. Then all of a sudden it was like something turned on, and he just became this really outstanding young man. So
it's all about practice.
Stories like that.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of those success stories.
And that's what I love. And then I imagine you look at probably out of the coaches, out of the trainers, all the staff that support each and every fighter. They probably all, were in that same, chewing. Maybe we're boxers, and they love the sport and keep continuing it. They're a little too long in the tooth to suit up and get in the ring, but they wanna help and support the next generation. And that's where you see in your trainers and those folks
they all support and mentor the next generation, and that's cool to see.
That's very well stated.
Yeah,
and like you said, we're real excited about that, and we're glad it's here, and it's home. It's back home again, and it's coming with a bunch of great individuals, people making a positive impact in our youth's lives. So come out and support us.
Come enjoy it.
us.
Again, it's this weekend. It's all going to be at the Roswell High Gym.
That's correct.
So plenty of great seats there. Every seat's going to be a good seat in that house. It's a great atmosphere to watching. Instead of seeing a basketball game, you're going to be seeing a few boxing matches this weekend. But the tournament weigh-in will be from 9 to noon Friday. Is that generally a public thing, or is that more just for the fighters?
Those just for the fighters. And
but
the
public and the fighting and all that'll start Friday night, 7 p.m. First match. First bell, then. So you want to get what time's doors open? Everything.
Doors are going to about 6 o'clock, and we're going to have mayor's going to come out and do a welcome.
All right, do the anoint officially. Welcome to the city. Got Dominus Omus, whatever the mayor does.
Pastor Troy from Church on the Move is going to have an opening invocation.
Okay.
And then we're going to have our president, who is Bunny Martinez out of Albuquerque.
Okay.
She'll be here saying a few words on behalf of New Mexico Golden Gloves.
Welcome the crowds and welcome the fighters.
Yes.
Cool. And then ding, ding
and
after
then,
that.
Ding, there you go.
Perfect. So, again, 7 p.m. So get doors open 6. You probably want to get there so we can get a good seat and get you settled in and get all that, get you ready for fight for first round at 7.
Yeah, got the concession ready to go. So.
Get your snacks and drinks and fill you up there and get so you're ready to root on your favorite boxers here, and then we'll do it all again Saturday. Again, 4 p.m. Doors will probably open about 3. I'm guessing.
That's correct.
And so get there early, get you good spots, get ready for day 2 of fights as they progress through the tournament here, the championships, and then the championships happen on Sunday. Again, 1 o'clock is the first fight. About noon, I'm guessing, is when the doors will open. And then we'll have an afternoon of championship matchups, and we'll start from the youth all the way to the open class. And it's going to be a full weekend of boxing, and you get to see everything. You're going to see women, men, children, adults. You're going to see every human being on the planet in way, shape, or form out in a boxing ring this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we're really excited. A lot of time and effort has come in to putting this together, and we're really excited about hosting and getting the show on the road.
Yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Absolutely. It's come and support the kids and support them all. I mean, but this is a community event. This is New Mexico coming together to do New Mexico things. And this is our people I'm saying this is a fun, come and be a part of it. Come see our local folks doing great things and hopefully taking their great things to a national stage. That's what they're trying to do at some point here. So come support them, cheer them on, and come. If you're new to the sport of boxing, even better. Come on out and let's learn it. Let's show you a few things, and who knows, maybe not ready to step in a ring, but maybe you're ready to watch a few more fights and get more involved in the boxing community. So.
No. Well, we really appreciate you having us on, and like you
Anytime.
said, it is an exciting time. And I keep going back to, it's coming home.
Yes.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's the roots. The roots are right here, and so come and see that. I imagine you get a few nostalgic trips, because I imagine there'll be a few old timers coming in to see the weekend, and they're going to take a few trips down memory lane. And so imagine, hang out with those people, because you're going to hear good stories.
With that being said, you have people like Jerry Martinez, who's a national runner-up out of Roswell. He's supposed to be here.
Great.
We got the Burke boys out of Las Cruces. They're going to be here. Some of the old fighters that they're here before I was. They plan on.
So if you're looking for a few New Mexico legends, you might run into a time or two out there.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to be a fun weekend. It all starts this Friday. First bell, 7 p.m. All happening at the Roswell High Gym. Tickets will be available at the door. Bring the whole family out for a fun weekend of boxing. I guarantee you go Friday night, you're probably going to want to be back for Saturday, and then you're certainly going to want to come back for Sunday for the championship. So come get the bug. And Rudolph, and come talk to these. Hear the stories of these boxers, and if nothing else, that'll inspire you. Just hearing, sometimes, when you hear, especially when you hear the stories of some of these boxers that have gone through adversity to get where they're at, and then you see where they're at now, and it's an inspiration. So hopefully a few people will be inspired from the weekend too. So Good deal. Is there anything we missed, Ray? Anything we wanted to share that we just spaced out on?
No, just really just community support. It's been great.
Good.
You guys.
Anything we can do to help? Oh, by the way,
KSVP.
I don't. If you're in town, I want you at the Roswell High Gym on Saturday and Sunday and Friday. But if you're out of town, you're not going to be in town this weekend. We will be carrying all the boxing matches. KSVPTV.com. We'll have a Golden Gloves boxing channel right there. You click on it, and you'll be able to watch the fights. But if you can be ringside this weekend, be ringside. Come in because we're going to do the best we can to bring you all the action, but it's not like being there in person to see it. It's just a different atmosphere.
There's that energy.
Yeah.
There's that energy.
And we can't bring that on the TV. We can't. We can try, but it doesn't translate.
You feel it as people come into the building, and there's just that. Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you can't make it to the Roswell High Gym this weekend, don't worry. We'll have it for you. KSVPTV.com. But if you can come out, support the boxers. Get you a seat and put your butt in it for the whole weekend and come out and be a part of it. So, good deal.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anytime, and we'll. I'm sure you got about 20 different phone calls and things to answer, so we'll let you get that moving. He does have a whole event to get ready for this weekend, so And by the way, Roswell High has a day of gym and work, and they got to do all that. And then when that's all done, they say, "Go ahead, boxers, you can go ahead." And so it's going to be a lot of work happening in a short amount of time here over the next couple of days. So
that's very, very true. And like you said, come on out.
Absolutely, support it.
Come out,
and we'll remind you throughout the week here, so in case y'all forget. So, thank you, Ray, as always, and we'll see you this weekend. Okay,
for sure. Looking forward to it.
All right, take care.
And you do the same. Thank you.
It is 9:47, 7:47. It's a little early for that. No, 9:47. We're going to pause for news. Your hand.
I'm Jared Cirillo with your Pecos Valley News Update. If you have travel plans through southern New Mexico, be aware that upcoming missile testing on the White Sands Missile Range will cause temporary closures of 3 state highways on Thursday. Closures include Highway 380 from San Antonio to Carrizozo, Highway 70 from San Augustine Pass to Alamogordo, and Highway 54 between the McGregor Range exit and Oro Grande. Eddy County leaders are still discussing the possibility of spending some $30 million to create a bypass around the city of Carlsbad. A new feasibility report is out showing possibly using Carrasco Road as a connection between US 285 and 62-180. Both highways have seen major traffic increases since the oil and gas boom over the last decade. Eddy County commissioners have already once tabled a potential ordinance. That was in January. Instead, they asked to get more input from affected property owners. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Graduations are only weeks away, and hundreds of thousands of graduates will be searching for their first real job. But many will discover the frustration of ghost jobs. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by CarShield. Be prepared for the unexpected. Visit carshield.com/Kim and save 20%. Deductible may apply. There's a mystery in today's job market. You find a job posting online and apply. Weeks later, nothing. If you inquire, the company tells you it isn't really hiring after all. The Wall Street Journal calls these ghost jobs. More than 25% of American companies readily admit that many online postings are not real. So why post them? Half say they kept the ads up to give the impression the company is growing. Another third kept the listings up to placate overworked employees. Some are stocking a pool of ready applicants should an employee quit. All of this is misleading and dishonest. Consider this. If a company will lie during hiring, would you really want to work for them? For content on the go, get my daily longer podcast, Kim Commando, today. The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Tim, we need to talk. I just can't get over that rate increase from Verizon and AT&T last year.
We'll switch to T-Mobile and get their price lock guarantee. They won't raise our rates for talk, text, and data ever.
Oh, we're switching today.
Switch to T-Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 a line with our price lock guarantee. We won't raise the price of your rate plan for talk, text, and data ever.
4 lines for $25 per line with autopay, plus taxes and fees. $5 more per month without autopay. Price lock for qualifying services excludes taxes, fees, select promos, and third-party services. See T-Mobile.com for details.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like all the rain will be staying to our north. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Low pressure moving through, and that means gusty wind for us as high as 45 miles per hour and very warm. Our highs 75 to 80. Cloudy overnight, still windy, and our low in the upper 40s, and then we'll be in the low 70s and a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up on Thursday, and the gusty wind continues. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Roswell Coyotes softball team looking pretty good these days. Yesterday taking on Clint, Texas, and the Coyotes moved to 8-2 with their overall record by defeating Clint 14-4. Daniela Hernandez, only a freshman, was 2 for 3 with a double and 4 RBIs, and a lot of home runs in this ball game. Jasmine Lucero for the Coyotes hit a home run. She's a senior. Sophomore Emily Esquivel also hit a dinger, as did sophomore Elena Tarrant. She hit a home run as well. A good job for the Roswell Coyotes. Meanwhile, the Roswell baseball team played a couple of tough games at El Dorado in Albuquerque, losing the first one 3-1 and then falling in the second one 4-3. Roswell's now 2-8 overall and will take on Portales next Tuesday, a doubleheader at home. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Stocks rallied on Wall Street, including the banks most beaten down by the industry's crisis. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the government could offer the banking industry more assistance if needed. Norfolk Southern CEO is offering support for some parts of a bipartisan Senate bill to put tougher safety regulations on railroads after last month's fiery hazardous materials train derailment on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Nike beat estimates for third quarter revenue and profit on Tuesday, boosted by strong demand for its sneakers. German prosecutors are investigating 2 Mercedes-Benz employees for suspected corruption and conducted searches late last week at the carmaker's factory as part of their investigation. Authorities seized a mobile phone and a computer during the searches at the plant southwest of Stuttgart. That's according to sources. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Artesia Car Enthusiast, Artesia Chamber of Commerce, and Artesia Main Street bring you the 24th Annual Main Event Car Show and Cruise 2023. Last year's record number of cars of all ages and sizes is sure to be beaten as we have expanded areas for vehicle display, added more food vendors, tractor row, and even a bike boulevard all downtown. We kick things off Friday, March 31st at 6 p.m. for the Main Street Cruise from Bulldog Bowl to 2nd Street and back. Join us Saturday, April 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. as Artesia transforms into one of the hottest spots for car enthusiasts, residents, and visitors. Please come together to enjoy a weekend filled with music, cruising, friendly competition, and lots of fun for the whole family. Spectators are always free. For more information or to register your car, go to artesiachamber.com or stop by the office at 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The Main Event Car Show and Cruise, Friday, March 31st and Saturday, April 1st in downtown Artesia. Ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax. Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com. or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, New Mexico, the New Mexico Golden Gloves Boxing Tournament is returning in 2023, and Roswell High School is the site for this exciting Olympic qualifying event. I'm Scott Galletti, and I'm your ringside announcer, and I invite you to be in Roswell March 24th, 25th, and 26th. If you can't be here in person, watch all the action on KSVPTV.com. Coverage on KSVPTV.com is presented by this fine sponsor.
Brought to you in part by Wakefield Oil Express in Roswell. Get your 17-point full-service oil change and car wash. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30, and Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:57. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We'll have the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters scheduled to join us, give us an update on what's going on through Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hey, a couple events happening at ENMUR that I want to put on your radar. Senior Day for high school seniors is happening at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Thursday, April 6th from 9:30 to 12:30. This is an opportunity for high school seniors throughout the area to come and tour the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell campus. If you're interested in doing so, have your student, or if you're the student listening now, not quite in school yet, visit your high school guidance counselor, and pretty much every high school in Chaves County, they should be aware of it. If not, reach out to the university. But the event will take place, again, April 9th. It'll be 9:30 to 12:30. They'll have buses going from all the schools going to ENMUR, and they'll have a tour. They get to learn about the first steps towards starting at ENMUR. Of course, they'll win prizes, including a new laptop computer. Lunch, bus transportation's provided. Again, sign up with your high school counselors or learn more at roswell.enmu.edu. But opportunity for high school seniors there. Also, coming up here in June 8th is ENMUR's annual Scrubs Camp. It's going to be June 8th from 8 to 4 at the ENMU Roswell Health Science Fair. It's a one-day interactive healthcare opportunity to meet with healthcare experts and things. They do. You kind of see all the different services that are trained through ENMUR too. But if you're interested in signing up, cost is $10 per participant and includes breakfast, lunch, and a camp T-shirt. There's a QR code you can scan or go to roswell.enmu.edu/Scrubs Camp to Scrub Camp. I'm sorry, no S. Scrub Camp to sign up there. Or call 575-624-7468 or 575-624-7235. All right, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Russia's Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping. They've wrapped up several days of meetings in Moscow, and Putin is speaking highly of that supposed Chinese peace plan for Ukraine. We don't have details, but the U.S. is rejecting it as offering diplomatic cover to Putin to press ahead with the war. Tuesday came and Tuesday went, and there was no indictment of former President Trump. Well, at least not yet.
Tuesday was the focus of the legal and political world because it was the day Trump predicted he would be arrested. But there were no such developments. The grand jury's work here in New York is pushing toward a conclusion following Monday's testimony from a lawyer with close ties to key Trump aides. Robert Costello went before the grand jury to undercut the credibility of Michael Cohen, the one-time fixer for Trump, who later turned against him. Greg Clugston outside the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in New York.
The financial markets anxiously awaiting word from the Federal Reserve on interest rates. The Fed's latest meeting ends later today.
Many economists expect the Fed to announce a relatively modest quarter-point hike in its benchmark rate to roughly 4.9%, the highest point in nearly 16 years. Hiring is strong, consumers are still spending, and inflation is still high. The Fed is expected to treat inflation and financial turmoil as two separate problems, raising rates to address inflation and greater Fed lending to banks to calm the financial turmoil. Donna Warder, Washington.
California is being swept by yet another atmospheric river, the 12th such storm system to batter the state recently. with fierce winds, flooding rains, and snow in the higher elevations. No class again today for 400,000 Los Angeles public school students, day 2 of a 3-day strike by service workers backed by teachers. The Dow down 17 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
People ask me sometimes. Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300.
The feds
Call us right
documented
now.
a threefold increase in a dangerous type of fungus in 3 years. More than half the states now reporting cases of it.
According to the CDC, the coronavirus pandemic was likely partly responsible for the increase. Hospital workers were strained by COVID-19 patients, and that likely shifted their focus away from disinfecting other kinds of germs. The fungus, Candida auris, is a form of yeast that is usually not harmful to healthy people, but can be a deadly risk to fragile hospital and nursing home patients. It spreads easily and can infect wounds, ears, and the bloodstream. The study found cases increased from just under 500 in 2019 to nearly 1,500 in 2021. I'm Mike Hempen.
An overnight raid by Taliban forces in the Afghan capital said to have killed 3 ISIS terrorists. News and analysis, townhall.com. Public screenings in Hong Kong of a horror film featuring Winnie the Pooh have been scrapped, sparking discussion over growing censorship in the city.
Without elaborating, the film distributor announced on Facebook that the Thursday release of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey had been canceled with great regret in Hong Kong. For many residents, the Winnie the Pooh character is a taunt of China's President Xi Jinping, and Chinese censors in the past had banned social media searches for the bear. In 2018, another film featuring the bear character was reportedly denied a release in China. The film being pulled in Hong Kong has prompted concern on social media over the territory's shrinking freedoms. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The TikTok CEO due before Congress tomorrow to be grilled by lawmakers about the company's privacy and data security practices, as well as its relationship with the communist Chinese government. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos Wednesday. Not as exciting as Friday.
No.
Not as bad as Monday.
Not nearly as bad as Monday.
So, happy Wednesday.
I'd argue Wednesday is Among my favorite days of the week, I'd say probably a 2 seat. Yeah, because it's my night. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the night that I can kind of put things on autopilot and just kind of indulge in one of my basest of pleasures.
Good deal.
Yeah, which is just sweaty dudes slapping meat, beefy boys in a box. You know, it's a weird thing, but it's something I've enjoyed since childhood. So.
Sometimes I catch the very beginning because I'm watching Big Bang Theory right before.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. That's the time you want to catch it. I'll tell you, this last week, the first 20 minutes there was no wrestling whatsoever. It was just a 20-minute promo, but the way they staged it, it was cinematic. It was art.
Wow.
That's kind of what I admire with what AEW's doing, with what Tony Khan's doing. It's kind of like paying homage to the wrestling of my day. You know, kind of the more like the cinematic stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They get guys like what's his name, Don LaFontaine back in the day.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, exactly. They paint a very broad picture.
Yeah.
They were able to take this kind of term that's known in the internet wrestling community and kind of pay homage to that, and also kind of like just deliver a really solid promo. It's just fun.
Nice.
Just fun for people like me.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. That's what it's there for.
You people.
Hey, I saw. My wife pointed out to me yesterday, and then I just saw the article. You see, the drummer for Def Leppard got attacked.
Oh, really? Rick Allen?
Yeah.
What happened? I'm surprised. My kid's mom didn't mention this to me at some point.
Who go after an unarmed man?
Come on.
Sorry, it was right there. Too soon, maybe. Too soon. Too soon, maybe. But all right. No, allegedly.
Oh.
That's a dad joke.
Hell, but I'm laughing, so I'm coming with you.
That's a dad joke right there.
No, it's not. That's a fantastic joke.
But allegedly, I guess he was outside of a building smoking, and some guy just come up and clocked him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he suffered a minor injuries. I think he had to go to the hospital, get some stitches and whatnot or something. But yeah. He got. I was like, really? Who goes after the drummer for Def Leppard? He's sitting out there smoking a cigarette, minding his own business.
The punchline literally made me think for a split second, did this really happen? But if it's legit,
no, it's legit.
Crazy.
The joke was all me, and
that's so good. Though.
Too soon, maybe, but yeah, that was there. I just saw it, and I was like, man,
wow, I had no idea.
Technically, he's a one-armed man. He's not unarmed.
Well, yeah, but we also don't know if he was holding.
But yeah, the drummer for Def Leppard. He was
crazy.
I guess he was out. I don't know if he was at their hotel or something.
I'm gonna have to message Carla.
It wasn't in. I think it was in England or something. I don't think it was here in the United States. I don't know exactly where it happened, but it did happen. Wow. I saw the story online. So
I'm texting my kid's mom right now. Texting Carla right now. Rick Allen got attacked.
Well, I guess it happened earlier in the week or last week. I'm not sure which, but the story just kind of broke the other day. So yesterday or day before.
I'm going to have to tell her to go back and watch the replay of this show. Ooh, that's just...
I'm sorry, it was right there.
That was delightful. That was delightful. I really
apologize
hope,
to all you Def Leppard fans out
I
there.
hope that Kim was enjoying a nice coffee, maybe an English muffin.
She's very mad at me because I brought the grease thing back up last hour. So this will be the icing on that cake. I just put 3 birthday candles on that cake.
You don't even own a dog. Where do you go? What doghouse do you go to?
I got a litter box that's covered. I can put me there.
I'd like to quote one of my dad's favorite movies.
Yeah.
From Southern Comfort. Did you have to tear the man's arm off?
Well,
y'all ever seen that?
I don't recall.
I don't think I have seen Southern Comfort.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I did, it was so long ago.
I'm a fan of Southern Comfort. I just not the movie.
Like, I've seen a lot of movies in my younger days that I don't remember the names of, and I vaguely remember little scenes from it, and that's probably one of those movies. That,
well, it's these soldiers fighting Cajuns, and one of them happens to have just a missing arm. And they hold one of them hostage, and he says, "Did you have to tear the man's arm off?"
Why do I think of all that the Cajun chef like fighting a bunch of those guys just running around going, "I guarantee." Remember him?
Oh yeah,
the Cajun chef.
Etouffee.
Yeah, I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Paul Prudhomme.
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. That's it. As soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he died, about 20 years ago?
About 20, 25 years ago, yeah.
But when I think of Cajun Cook, to this day, I still think of him. I guarantee.
Guarantee.
But needless to say, prayers and thoughts to
Yeah, that's what we're... Wow.
I couldn't help it. It was right there. I was like, come on. Someone's got to make this joke. The joke has to be made.
You know, I think that just because I was over the course of my marriage to not make fun of that band, I think I'm trained to put a ring of protection around that band for that reason. So it's you're like, I just don't care. That's fantastic. I really shouldn't, but yeah.
Well, it's there.
Happens, man.
I mean, it's the elephant in the room here. Oh man, let me give you our rundown.
Yes.
Folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters scheduled to join us here in just a little bit. I haven't seen them yet. We'll give them a few minutes, see if they come by. If not, I'll have a backup interview to play and get ready for you. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Hey, couple things I want to put on your radar real quick while we're talking here. You're running out of time here. The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, we've got about a week left to get your applications in for their scholarships for high school students and this year college students as well. Thanks to the Linda Hayes Trust, for years they been providing money to allow and using the Historical Society as kind of the conduit to distribute these funds to high school and now college students throughout the region. They're offering 6 different scholarships, $1,250 each scholarship. They are offering one $1,250 humanities and art scholarship. One high school senior will be awarded that. They're offering 2 STEM scholarships, $1,250 each. 2 high school seniors will be awarded those scholarships. Also, a character scholarship. 2 high school students will again be awarded that, $1,250. And then this year they've added the continuing education scholarship, where one student will, college student will be awarded $1,250. Now, you've got until March 31st to get your applications in. You can find the applications right now at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's website, which is roswellnmhistory.org. www.roswellnmhistory, all one word, .org. You can go there. You'll find a link right on the front of the page for the Hayes scholarships. Also, you can call the Historical Society if you have any questions, 575-622-8333. Again, 575-622-8333. Or you can shoot an email to historydirector@outlook.com. Amy will receive that email and respond accordingly. Again, historydirector@outlook.com. But the absolute drop-dead deadline to get your applications in is March 31st, by end of the business on the 31st. So you got till next week to get these done. So I know some, a lot of, especially here in Roswell, the kids are on spring break this week. Maybe light the fire and say, hey, y'all, get those applications done this week and get them turned in and, get some free money towards college. And they do an amazing job of going through the people picking and all that. I don't envy them, but, I do like to make it so that they've got a hard choice to make, because we got so many good applications. So good thing to have going on there. I'm going to give it a few more minutes here for our guests, see if they make it. But if not, I think what I'll do in place, if we don't have our Big Brothers Big Sisters, on Monday I had the folks from VFW Post 12184. Also joining us was a gentleman with Healing America's Heroes, and it's an organization that they're doing their golf tournament coming up in May here, the VFW Post. And so it's a fundraising event for the VFW Post, but also for Healing America's Heroes. But now's the time. They're going to be out at the Country Club in May. So we might play that interview here in a bit if we don't hear from the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters. But So we'll play that in just a little bit. It is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like all the rain will be staying to our north. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Low pressure moving through, and that means gusty wind for us as high as 45 miles per hour and very warm. Our highs 75 to 80. Cloudy overnight, still windy, and our low in the upper 40s, and then we'll be in the low 70s and a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up on Thursday, and the gusty wind continues. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 37%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 12 miles per hour. We do have a wind advisory that's going to kick in at 11 officially this morning and remaining in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. Could see some patchy blowing dust this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy for the day with a high of 81 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest this morning, 15 to 20. Later today, increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 48 degrees. Winds will continue to be blowing out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 5 to 10 after midnight tonight. For you Thursday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, 73 for a high tomorrow. Winds will still be blowing out of the east, 5 to 10 in the morning, increasing 20 to 30. Gusting as high as 40 miles per hour by Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Expect an overnight low of 39 degrees. Winds will be breezy out of the northwest, 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 15 after midnight tomorrow night. Then Friday, sunny, cooler, 65 for a high. Winds will remain breezy out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll increase 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Friday afternoon. And Saturday, sunny skies, 69 for a high. Sunny on Sunday, expect highs right around 70. All right, it is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. Like I said, if we don't see the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters, haven't seen them yet, our backup interview will be my interview ahead with BFW host 12184 and Healing America's Heroes. But either way, we'll have one of those for you coming up in a bit. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Listen, you want a pizza? You can get one of those anywhere. But if you want authentic, traditional, brick oven-style pizza, forget about it. There's only one place in town, our Pizza Center in Roswell. I'm talking about authentic pies using authentic ingredients. Plus, pasta, salads, wings, subs, burgers, and a whole menu chock full of your favorites. You can dine in or have it delivered up to 5 miles. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at 505 North Main in Roswell. Or check out RoswellPizzaCenter.com. And hey, mention you heard it on the radio and buy one pizza, get one free. Our Pizza Center, a taste of the old world, right here.
This country can sure be windy in the springtime, and we all know the best thing about wind is when it stops. Well, your friends at Roswell Ford can't do anything about the wind, but we can sure help you find the right car or truck. Roswell Ford has the biggest selection of nice pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico. Each one carefully inspected and backed with a 3-day money-back guarantee. We also have brand new Fords arriving almost every day, so you'll want to check with us frequently to be sure you don't miss something. And when your vehicle needs service, remember that Roswell Ford offers free pickup and delivery, so you don't have to get out in the wind. Or the Roswell Ford mobile service van can come to you and take care of most routine maintenance at your house or where you work. So whether you're shopping for a new vehicle or taking care of the one you have, you can't do better than Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation, at the corner of 9th and Main. Come see us, but remember to hang on to your hat and don't let that car door get away from you.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply. Come and enjoy the fun and savings March 24th and 25th. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and receive 3 free chicks. Buy a 50-pound bag and get 6 free chicks. Bring the kids and the whole family. There's plenty for them to do. The Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo will be there, and Little Bits Food Truck will be there with their delicious mini donut treats. Chick Days are back March 24th and 25th at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock here, and I've not seen my guests from Big Brothers Big Sisters. So what we'll do it was actually Sunday, but we interviewed earlier in the week. We had folks from VFW Post 12184. Also joining us, we had folks from Healing America's Heroes, and we talked about the VFW. They've got a golf tournament coming up May 19th at the Roswell Country Club, and it's going to be a big event. You can sign up your golfers now. Sponsorship opportunity still available, but the proceeds from the event are going towards VFW Post 12184, also supporting Healing America's Heroes, an organization that they help veterans, first responders, all throughout the area, not just Roswell, but state and beyond, with PTSD. And they do it through equine therapy and fly fishing therapy up in the Ruidoso area, up in that area. So they have a really cool camp up there that they do and all this stuff. So we talk about it in the interview. So we're going to play that interview for you now. So here it is, VFW Post 12184 and Healing America's Heroes, that interview. Enjoy. And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning from our local VFW Post 12184, we have Jason Burke and Mac Dyer with us. And then also from the organization Healing America's Heroes, Eddie Crane as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing today? How's life at the VFW this morning?
Doing good. We're getting this golf tournament organized. It's moving right along, and
good deal.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yes. For folks that aren't familiar, our local VFW Post here, they're currently organizing and getting ready for a big golf tournament that's going to be happening May here. What's the exact date and everything, Mark?
It's May 19th and 20th at the Roswell Country Club.
Yes, so we've got plenty of time to still sign up teams. Not too much time, but plenty of time. And, of course, sponsorship opportunities here. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the different ways you can sponsor and things. But this is a fundraising event not only for the local VFW Post here, but you guys have also partnered with another organization. I'll kind of let you, Jason, kind of lead into that and then talk a little bit, and then we'll get Eddie to talk a little bit more about the organization.
So we partnered with Healing America's Heroes, Fort Stanton. And as I've said before, their main focus is helping combat veterans and first responders who suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Sure.
And of course, we've got Eddie here today. He's the founder of Healing America's Heroes out there, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of good information. He can talk a lot lot better about it than I can.
Yeah, well, first off, Eddie, thank you for spending some time with us. Appreciate it. So
it's an honor and a pleasure.
So
Thank you very much.
So let me ask, what was the reasoning? What made you decide to start this organization to help folks?
Healing America's Heroes is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we established it in 2014.
Okay.
In northern New Mexico. Okay, and we were in the Chama area, New Mexico area. Okay, and we were there until 2021 when we were able to make a deal with the state of New Mexico and lease the old prison facility at Fort Stanton.
Okay.
And it had not been used since 2015. It had been shut down since 2015. So we took it over.
Nice.
And we're converting it over from a prison to a veteran outreach, veteran wellness center for our veterans and first responder, like Jason said.
That's really cool. And
Yeah.
it's great, that we brought life to something that was sitting and rotting in Fort Stanton there.
That's true.
But and the B part is obviously doing it for something good, and I would imagine I know for sure veterans are stubborn mules. First responders are probably in the same vein.
A lot of the first responders are veterans themselves.
Exactly. So they chew a lot of the same dirt. So that sometimes stubbornness is our tool to survive and do things, but to have that facility and to have that available and to see other veterans and first responders take advantage of it, and by their word of mouth, hopefully get some more of these other stubborn ornery folks to utilize your services and everything.
Yeah, our facility can actually accommodate 50 people.
Okay.
We can sleep 50 veterans and we can feed 50 veterans, first responders at one time.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, but you guys have a cool program too. It's not just like they show up and they say, "All right, we're going to talk in kumbaya," and then next thing you know, we're healed.
I wish it was that easy.
Me too. I mean, we could have a lot more of these. But talk a little bit about what you guys do, because this is where the unique part comes in a little bit.
Yes, we are a recreational therapeutic program for veterans. And we help the veterans, first responders, and female veterans with TBI and also traumatic brain injury, military sexual trauma, and, of course, the post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, so some of it's mental, some of it's physical. When you got dealing with brain damage and stuff, reconnecting.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And so we do this through equine and piscatorial therapy. Okay. And that is through fly fishing and horse therapy.
So some fishing and horseback riding.
Fly fishing and fly tying. They also tie their flies. We've got a fly tying.
I zip mine. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I had to throw it out there. Sorry.
I don't even do that anymore.
We all do, but anyway, when they do tie their flies, they tie the flies and they use them to catch the fish.
Cool.
And so it's quite a unique program. And we've been, like I said, established since 2014, and to date we signed the papers officially the 28th of May of last year, and since then we've helped 30 veterans come through our program.
That's awesome.
Since last year. We are booking and trying to get up to 130 veterans come through our program this year.
Okay.
And the help with Jason and Mac.
Well, I was about to say, you can lead the horse to water, but if you don't have the resources to feed them and clothe them and provide for them and the actual therapy services involved.
I'm actually have become a member of Jason with Jason and the Post. So
all right,
it's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Good deal. So they're going to give you a title and put you to work.
No, I support Jason. I totally support Jason.
Very good. Excellent. Now, how long is this? Have you guys? I'm sorry. What year did you start this again?
We created this in 2014. We got our 501c3 in 2014, and we were working up there in the Chama area.
Okay.
And we've helped actually veterans from a lot of. We've had veterans from Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Utah.
Great. So you're
Colorado.
getting some outreach here.
Yes, all in New Mexico, and quite a few people from Phoenix, Arizona area.
For folks listening, do you guys have a website or some kind of? I know you have our brochures, but if someone want to get online somewhere and do a little reading, is there a place they could do that?
If you could, please check our website out. We're very proud of it. Our website is healingamericasheroes.org, O-R-G. Okay, and they're welcome to call me anytime, day or night.
Sure.
My phone number is 575-756-8557, and we're here to help our veterans, first responders.
And I like it because, too, is I imagine you probably see a lot of vets and first responders that maybe they've tried other things and didn't have success.
Right. Yeah.
And they're looking for,
And see, that's where we have no doctors. I mean, right now we're just a recreational therapeutic program.
Sure.
We do have therapists and counselors available, but it's not mandatory that they have to talk to the doctor or talk to anyone.
You're working on the soul here. That's
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
That makes complete sense. So I'm curious, what was the inspiration? Was it yourself or family that were dealing with some of this?
Sir, yes, I mean, I'm a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
And so, the 22 a day, losing 22 brothers and sisters a day.
That number's about to be 23, I heard.
Or more.
Going this way.
Or more.
Yeah.
And so that was our main that was our main reason for starting this, was the 22 a day, and also the an alternative to the medications that they're issuing to the, so we're doing, this is a recreational therapeutic program.
Sure.
So we do it outside, we do it, with the heart and soul and the mind, and try to stay away from as many of those drugs as
If someone's going through clinical treatment things, this would be in addition to, not
exactly
substituting or supplanting for.
Correct.
This is in addition to whatever professional care or help you're getting.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
It's really, and I'm hoping a few people hear about this and say, I knew someone who could really benefit.
And call. It's easy to sign up. You get on our website. The first thing you see is our application. You can volunteer. There's a volunteer application, or if you want to come through the program, the schedule is laid out there in our website, and it's very easy. And if you have any trouble, just call us.
And it's a heck of a way to get some people to go fly fishing with you and horseback riding. If you're thinking, I do this by myself, I got a couple buddies, maybe I can, help them cope with life. And now I got a fishing buddy on the weekends.
Well, a lot of them come in with their battle buddies.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah,
and we've had a couple of them where they've showed up at 5 or 6 at one time.
That's great, and that's good because they'll rely on each other as well to go through that. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing.
Get 3 hots in a cot. It's 3 hot meals, a place to stay, and therapeutic.
Yeah.
Therapeutic
well, and military, and you guys can attest to this just as much as Eddie can. That military. That's how we coped anyway. When we did things in the military that sucked, because you do that from time to time. Part of doing it with your brothers and sisters, your comrades. That's kind of how you get through some of that stuff,
That's why I'm in the VFW.
Yeah, exactly. And hence the why VFW and organizations like it are
one of the reasons we exist.
Absolutely. So let's talk the swinging of the balls and hitting par and birdies and bogeys and all that stuff side of things. Talk a little bit about the tournament, the nuts and bolts. It's probably a 4-person scramble and all the stuff that golfers know.
Yeah, we're going to start it off on Friday with the 9-hole best ball, 2-person. Just kind of get the juices flowing on Friday afternoon to
warm
start
up a little bit.
And have a little competition. Hopefully, win a little prize money and stuff on Friday.
And certain bragging rights, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
I imagine there's a lot of veterans are going to be walking around this thing. And in case you haven't noticed, we do talk a lot of smack.
I get made fun of because I was a tanker.
That's right. Yeah, I get made fun of because I'm in the Air Force. It's all the same.
We're not going to hold that against you today. But
it's okay. Air Force is welcome.
That's right.
And then
we're in charge of snacks.
Y'all have the best ones.
And then Saturday is going to be the 4-person scramble on Saturday. And
shotgun start.
Yeah, shotgun start at 7:30. Okay, and then we'll have an afternoon one as well. We're going to hopefully try for a shotgun start. Sometimes they get crowded up in there, but we're going to
sure. Yeah, you always have a log jam or two every once in a while and stuff.
Then in the afternoon, and then we're going into the evening. Do the fun stuff. We got silent auction. Okay, we're gonna have a live auction there.
Very cool.
We'll have the award presentation for the winners. And
can you guys still use some donations of silent auction items and all that too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody's out there listening and think of your
Most
atypical
definitely.
silent auction, trips or a offering of your business services, or if you got artwork or sports memorabilia or something like that, or things of value, or a package. Spa packages or trip package or a golfing outing or something like that. Maybe trip out a fishing trip or something like that.
There you
know. But if you have that ability and would like to donate one of those to this event, please reach out. What else we got?
And then in the evening, we'll do the live auction.
Okay.
And, after the dinner and awards, we'll do a live auction. We're going to have some live entertainment afterwards to, just have some fun when it's all over with and celebrate. And we'll do a couple presentations, about Healing America's Heroes and some different things like that. And just enjoy some camaraderie. And
good deal. Maybe I'm sure they'll get like a presentation talking a little bit about some of the things that's going on with the Healing Hands and, talking about, maybe a few fish stories. Gotta have those. They're almost as big as the golf stories. Right? But yeah, especially for all you golfers out there, you're going to be out there golfing anyway. Might as well sign up, come out to the country club, have a great time, and then all the money you were going to spend on greens fees and everything will now go to help two great organizations here. So come out and be a part. If you, I can tell you this, there's always a bunch of fun and food and camaraderie at these events, and it's every time you have a golf scramble, you get a couple people that are very serious golfers and they're doing it, but a lot of them are just there whacking the ball, to having fun, telling fish stories, doing the, what people do on the golf course and having a good time, and if you're going to do that anyway, come out and do it and help some people that have at one point or other sign their name on the dotted line to help you, or protect you. And so we would love to have you come out and do that. So while we're talking about that, of course, you guys are always looking for new VFW members too. If there's some veterans listening and they would like to, maybe they're saying, I want to get involved with something, because it's a service organization. At the end of the day, it's they're there to give back. I mean, they primarily with veterans, but also community related stuff.
Absolutely.
It's veterans first. We always want to make sure our veterans are taken care of, but kids or different organizations, much like our other veteran groups in town, they're community based things. So if you're looking to get involved, and then if you're just looking for people to hang out that probably shared some similar types of experience that you have, VFW provides that kind of kinship and camaraderie on top of giving you purpose and a sense of belonging in the community a little bit.
Yep. And, speaking of that, we are having a recruiting drive this coming weekend on the 25th and 26th of this month out at Westlake.
Okay. Westlake Hardware.
Westlake Hardware. Yes, sir. We'll be there all day, both days, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
We'll be recruiting, and we'll also, like you said, if anybody wants to donate for the golf tournament,
sure,
we'll be collecting
cash. Is good too. If you don't have prizes to donate for things, but you got a big fat check or a suitcase full of cash you want to bring by, no problem. Come on in.
No problem at all.
Make sure the bills are not marked and it's traceable, please.
Yeah,
but,
I won't ask about it. Why is this in a briefcase?
No questions.
No questions.
No die packs.
That's right.
Yeah, no die packs.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. We left our Richard Dixon mask at home if we have to do a getaway. But
and you can't drive past and throw it out the window. You actually got to walk it up.
Come on out.
But yeah, we'll be out there, recruiting people. Donations. We're going to have a poppy drive as well. And
if you're curious about your eligibility requirements and things, that way they can talk to you. It's with VFW. Obviously you have to serve honorably, but there's certain windows of what they call combat windows that if you serve during these time periods, and odds are if you've served any time in active military within the last 20 years, because
there's a chance. Absolutely.
We've been involved in so many of between stuff with Saddam and stuff with Afghanistan and stuff in between. There's enough there where I know when I was a kid, people were like, well, I've been fought since Vietnam and things. And now it's like, well, there's 3 or 4 different conflicts that kind of will qualify you for. So pretty much.
Well, so in a nutshell, if you've ever drawn imminent danger pay, hazard fire pay, or, of course, served in an actual combat zone, and also South Korean service as well.
Okay.
When I say South Korean service, I don't mean the actual Korean War, which does qualify, by the way.
But if you did a tour
in Korea, then that's also a qualifying ribbon as well.
Yeah, I know in the Air Force that's a remote tour, and there's 2 bases, Kunsan or Osan, and you get sent to one or the other. And I know for Air Force side, you're pretty much spending the year sucking rubber because they're exercising, and because technically, as we talked about this last time, is Korean War never ended. It's still
an actual
armistice. Yeah. So technically, when you get assigned to a Korean base or base in Korea, you are in a war zone, and you therefore get the hazard pay and all. I mean, there is some perks to that. You want to, if you're a broke GI. Like your 20s, and they send you to Korea for a year, and because you really don't have a whole lot of money to spend money on, you know, booze
unless they come back married,
right? Then, but learn that lesson. You go alone, come back alone. But anyway,
that's true.
But anyway, if you're broke and an airman, you sit a year in one of those places. Next thing you know, you got a big fat bank account, so it's really nice.
I got lucky. I missed the Korea bullet. I never got to had to go to Korea.
Well, if I would have re-upped, I would have probably gone. I did sit in Kuwait for a while, and then Kosovo. I was a part of that in '99. So that qualified me, but that's kind of I was in the rear of the gear loading bombs. So, but if you are a veteran, again, you come out to Westlake this weekend and visit, or if you're not in town, you guys meet the fourth Thursday of every month.
Depending on the last Thursday. Sometimes a month has 5 Thursdays, but the last Thursday of every month. Okay, at 7 p.m. at Grace Community Church.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome to come to that meeting. And you guys get underway. What time again?
7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
1900 hours, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, that's the other time for you people that weren't in the military. I have guys in radio that weren't in the military.
Yeah,
but because we also use a 24-hour clock for some of our radio stuff. You tell them 13:30, and they look at you like, what? Or they look at me, what time is that, Mike? 1:30. Thank you. It's like, it's just math, man. Do the adding. They can teach Army guys how to do this. You can figure it out.
Oh, man.
Hey.
That's okay. That's all right.
But,
that's all right, Flyboy. We'll let that one fly.
Working smarter, not harder. That's what we do. But definitely, please come be a part of this, and then come out and if you're if you're a veteran and you're looking for a place to meet some people, get involved. And it's certainly, if you're a vet out there, or anyone really, and you're needing help, you're needing resources, please reach out. VFW Post 12184 will definitely put you in the right direction. As I can safely say, every American Legion post in this town will do the same thing. Pretty much any veterans organization. If you come in, you need help, there's going to be someone that'll put you in touch with the people to get that help too. Whether you need help navigating VA services or something, which we all know that can be a mountain of nightmare.
It's like going through the Wizard of Oz. That's really what it is.
I'm pretty sure it's designed to not let you in. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I used to call it. I'm going to the Wizard. I'm off to see the Wizard. Anytime I went to the VA hospital.
Sure.
But
and then, of course, if anyone's listening and they're thinking, man, I know someone that could use help with, they're going through PTSD or, like maybe you're not sure if it's PTSD. You just know something's not right with this person. And maybe, because we can't put a finger on it. To us, we assume it's one thing. You don't know. PTSD looks like a lot lot of things.
Most definitely.
No two people could have PTSD and be complete polar opposites of how they act and do things. It's just... It's human beings, everyone's different. And so, but if you think that, please reach out, call you guys, and they'll put you in touch with Eddie here, or check out Eddie's website or call direct. And of course, if people are wanting to get involved, I imagine you could always use more on the helping side too.
We can always use volunteers. We can always, that's why we're doing this fundraisers, just to help support both organizations.
Even if you're good at horseback riding or any of that, or even I don't have a military connection, but
we always need
I'm a pretty good fly fisherman.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, teach your skills.
We always need volunteers.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed. I mean, what kind of, and because for people thinking, because there's probably something that's like, how does out fishing or riding a horse, how it does a lot, because
there's the therapeutic side to it.
And military people are trained a certain way, and I'm thinking first responders, they're probably same thing. I mean, different things they're teaching them, but the same way they do it. And so I think by giving someone a set, fly fishing, there's a certain, you got to do it the right way or you're going to have a hard day out there, and so
true.
And so I think that responds to military people. If you give them a set of instructions and say, do it this way, they're going to look at it and follow it to the letter. And I think fly fishing and horseback riding brings that element to the therapy. You know, it's like, okay, by you focusing on tying the right tie or putting the right thing, you're able to use that to navigate the other stuff going on in your life, or able to realize there's more to life than what you've created in your head.
You know, in these programs that we've got there, we talk a lot about especially in the equine program, we talk a lot about the predator and the prey. You know, a lot of times when were you the predator? When were you the prey?
Sure.
You know, certain times we were both predator and prey. You know, and so we relate that to the how the horse reacts. You know, they're prey animals.
Yeah.
You know, and then also we talk a lot about pressure and release. You know, what do you do when there's pressure and how do you release it? And you know,
so using those lessons to actually, yes, teach you to fish or teach you to ride, but guess what? These same things or same principles apply to other aspects of your life. And I know military, and sometimes we need to be hit kind of hard to see the light sometimes. And that's just, you know, that's what I think this works, because you're giving it's the piece of cheese and the pill thing. You know, you always trick your dog taking meds by putting, you know, in essence, you're giving them treatment, but you've wrapped in a big old piece of cheese in the form of fly fishing or horseback riding. And so that's what I think you probably see the most success, because people that are resistant to say, yes, come shrink my head and come talk to me, are going to be more willing to come in and say, yeah, let's go hang out and fish for the afternoon.
Well, it doesn't have that clinical environment.
Yes,
you know,
exactly,
I know.
Jason.
I've gone through that myself. You know, sit down in a room with this, you know, guy who just got out of college, and I mean, no offense towards, you know, therapists and psychologists, but you know, it's still hard to talk to them. You know, and
yeah, I get that, because some of the things you've seen and done aren't things that normal people that don't deal with military or first responders see or do. And so someone that just went to college and studied theory, I understand. I'm not trying to, like you said, but it's hard for someone that's seen and done things to relate to someone that really is telling you how to fix it in theory only. Yeah. It's like, just stop being sad. Like, good luck with that.
Yeah, stop being sad. Find a healthy outlet.
you know, whereas someone that's been there, done that, they respect more. Or someone, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's no different than, you know, alcoholics working with other alcoholics. It's the same, you know, great, tell me to stop drinking. Good luck with that. You know, if I could do that, I wouldn't be sitting in this meeting to begin with, you know.
Exactly.
And I think there's some of that there too with this program, is when you got other vets in the room and others talking that seen as much or if not more than you, and you see them as the example of, hey, they seem to be doing all right. If they are doing all right, maybe that could be me too. And so I think veterans and first responders just seem to be a little bit more receptive to that path.
Yeah, you know, our motto is, you know, vets helping veterans. You know, veterans helping vets. You know, and that's our motto.
Sure.
And you know, and most of the volunteers we have are veterans that come through. You know,
and I'm betting
or are volunteering in respect to someone that was in the military.
And I would also be willing to bet some of those same folks were probably on the other side of the fence years ago, and are now, you know, they've been through that, chewed that dirt, and now are using what they've learned to help the next generation of people going through it. And that's the cool thing about this. And that's what I'm hoping, you know, this thing catches on, and next thing you know, you're like, hey, we got the Fort Stanton chapter, we got the Farmington chapter, we got the Santa Fe chapter, we got the Hobbs chapter. You know, that would all be cool at one point, but it's got to start somewhere. So might as well start at Fort Stanton, right? Or
amen.
Again, give out your website, any place that you would like people to learn more about your organization.
Please come check our website out. It's healingamericasheroes.org. You know, and check out our website. It's most important. Our webmaster is doing a great job. Easy to apply, easy to volunteer. You know, any questions, of course, you can ask them there on our website, or call me personally, 575-756-8557. My name's Eddie.
Excellent. And of course, is there any information that we missed on the golf side, or anything that we wanted make sure we got sidetracked with talking about other stuff. Is there anything we definitely want to let people know about?
We will have a website up for it probably in the next couple of days, and we'll get that out on our Facebook page and share that where you can sign up and sponsor and everything on that website to make it nice and easy. Or you can also just call, anybody that's on the Jason, myself, or Bob Bolin. And do any sign-ups or sponsorships. And we also have we've had a lot of people step up already. We're still early in the process. And just highlight a couple of them that went way above and beyond.
Let's do that.
Watson Construction, Genesis Endeavors,
nice.
Perry's Oilfield Service, Custom Welding. They've all went above and beyond what just kind of what we asked for our general sponsorship.
I think
stuff.
they get what you're doing, and that's why they're going above and beyond. And probably when you add the helping Healing Hands here, that's another level of perfect, awesome. So thank you to those businesses, but I can they get it, and that's awesome.
Yeah, and anybody can and there's not a we got some guidelines on like what we asked for some any kind of sponsorship, but anything is good. I mean, we'll make it work. We recognize you and we appreciate anything that
absolutely
nothing too big and nothing too small.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, if you want something formal, there's the different tiers from Medal Honor all the way, Purple Heart and in between. And each level comes with certain perks and things, entries into the tournament, so advertising, so forth, so on. Be happy. You guys will be happy to point that out when you call or get in touch and say, here's the different levels. How do you want to help out? And you can do that way. Or I'm sure if you said, well, those don't really fit, I want to do a custom thing. Here's a bunch of whatever. And whatever that is, we'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
But in the meantime, now's the time to sign up. If you want to sign up as a golfer, can you go through you or can you go through the Country Clubs Pro or both? Or
you could drop off your information at the Country Club. Well, I'm sure we can pick it up.
Okay.
But if you just call myself or Bob Bolin.
Okay.
I can give out our numbers if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can call me at 575-291-5243.
Okay.
Or you can call Bob Bolin at 575-626-0741.
All right.
Or Jason Burke at 575-910-1860.
Very good.
And we'll get you taken care of.
And they love when you call at 2 a.m. I'm just kidding.
Jason especially.
I really like I like it. My wife loves it.
No, she really loves it.
I leave the phone between us.
And I forward all my calls to his after.
So it goes
after
right to him anyway. So if you call him at Mac, it'll go right to him.
I still haven't figured out how he does that yet.
That's why you put him in charge of the tournament. He knows things.
That's what it is.
But please, get involved. And I'm just kidding about the 2 a.m. Don't call him at 2 a.m. But
it's not going to ring.
But definitely reach out. Of course, you guys also have, if you look for Roswell VFW or VFW Post 12184 on Facebook, shoot a message through there.
And LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn as well,
sir.
too. One of these guys will get a hold of you and get you information and all that stuff, too. So anything we talked about here today when it comes to whether you're someone who needs some services and needs help, or if you want to participate in the golf tournament, or if you're wanting to be a VFW Post member, again, don't forget, come on out to Westlake Hardware this Saturday and Sunday. Pretty much all day, they're going to have be out front there, and you can come and make donations, or if you want to become a member of the VFW here, or if you're a veteran and you have needs, reach out. There'll be someone there to put you in touch with people. So, good deals. Is there anything we missed?
I think we covered it.
Anything, Eddie, you wanted to mention?
I'm just really glad to be here and really be glad to be with the VFW and what we're doing, how we've combined and working together. That's the only way this is going to work is us working together.
Absolutely. And thank you for, it's because of people like you stepping up and taking the reins on organizations like this that people get to, you know what I mean? Because let's face it, where do these people turn if you're not
exactly
here? And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. And so thank you and thank God
you guys. Thank you for letting us be here.
Anytime. This is the easy job. I turn on mics and talk like an idiot. That's all I do. They're like, you're so wonderful. No, I just talk like an idiot and let other people do great things. So thank you guys. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all next time. Okay.
I'm Jared Cirillo with your Pecos Valley News Update. If you have travel plans through southern New Mexico, be aware that upcoming missile testing on the White Sands Missile Range will cause temporary closures of 3 state highways on Thursday. Closures include Highway 380 from San Antonio to Carrizozo, Highway 70 from San Augustine Pass to Alamogordo, and Highway 54 between the McGregor Range exit and Oro Grande. Eddy County leaders are still discussing the possibility of spending some $30 million to create a bypass around the city of Carlsbad. A new feasibility report is out showing possibly using Carrasco Road as a connection between US 285 and 62 180. Both highways have seen major traffic increases since the oil and gas boom over the last decade. Eddy County commissioners have already once tabled a potential ordinance. That was in January. Instead, they asked to get more input from affected property owners. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like all the rain will be staying to our north. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Low pressure moving through, and that means gusty wind for us as high as 45 miles per hour and very warm. Our highs 75 to 80. Cloudy overnight, still windy, and our low in the upper 40s, and then we'll be in the low 70s and a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up on Thursday, and the gusty wind continues. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Stocks rallied on Wall Street, including the banks most beaten down by the industry's crisis. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the government could offer the banking industry more assistance if needed. Norfolk Southern CEO is offering support for some parts of a bipartisan Senate bill to put tougher safety regulations on railroads after last month's fiery hazardous materials train derailment on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Nike beat estimates for third quarter revenue and profit on Tuesday, boosted by strong demand for its sneakers. German prosecutors are investigating two Mercedes-Benz employees for suspected corruption and conducted searches late last week at the carmaker's factory as part of their investigation. Authorities seized a mobile phone and a computer during the searches at the plant southwest of Stuttgart. That's according to sources. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
As proud sponsors of the 2023 Golden Gloves event, let Candlewood Suites of Roswell knock you out with spacious rooms, quiet location, and great pricing. Recover in comfort at our Candlewood Suites, 4 Military Heights Drive, Roswell, 575-623-4300, 575-623-4300.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. We're closing in on 9 o'clock. Got a few minutes here before top of the hour. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have the folks from, Crystal from the Roswell Humane Society join us, give us an update what's happening there. And they've got some events coming up and things, so we'll talk about that with her. And obviously what pets are ready to find loving homes. So we'll do all that next hour. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A possible indictment makes strange bedfellows out of former President Trump and the old gray lady.
Trump has had a love-hate relationship with the New York Times over the years, including calling it fake news. But ahead of a possible indictment by the Manhattan DA, the former president is quoting the newspaper in his defense. According to a review by the Times and interviews with election law experts, the paper says New York prosecutors are bringing an untested case and doing it against a former U.S. president. Greg Clugston, New York.
Mr. Trump's prediction that he would be indicted yesterday by the Manhattan grand jury did not pan out, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. The grand jury continues its work. That China-Russia summit in Moscow.
This was arguably a successful summit for Xi and Putin, and it gives us more of an idea that these two are locked at the hip on some very critical issues for the globe.
Our military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis. China's Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin held 3 days of talks, praising each other and vowing to strengthen the ties between their nations. China is promoting its version of a peace plan for Ukraine, the plan rejected by the Biden administration. It's day 2 of the 3-day Los Angeles public school strike. No classes again today in the nation's second largest public school system. Is another interest rate hike in the offing? We'll find out later today when we hear from the Fed that the central bank wraps up its latest policy meeting. And across the pond, Britain's inflation rate rose for the first time in 4 months in February. Newly released figures surprised analysts, increased pressure on the Bank of England to hike interest rates at its meeting tomorrow. Wall Street, the Dow down 3 points, and NASDAQ is up 14 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket
cruise
cost.
missiles toward the North's eastern waters.
This is the 6th North Korean missile launch in 2 weeks, part of an angry response to 11 days of U.S.-South Korea joint military exercises. Titled Freedom Shield 23, the joint exercises will end on Thursday. North Korea says it believes they're a prelude to a planned invasion by its enemies. Pyongyang test-fired a record number of missiles last year and appears to be continuing that trend in a move that some believe is meant to desensitize outsiders to the idea of a heavily militarized North Korea.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. In a nationally televised address, French President Macron will explain how he will try to ease tensions prompted by his plan to raise the retirement age from 62 to 64. It has triggered protests all across France. News and analysis, townhall.com. A carnivorous plant may win special recognition from lawmakers in South Carolina.
The Venus flytrap would join other official items such as the state bird, the Carolina wren, state opera, porgy and bass, and the state snack, boiled peanuts. In all, South Carolina has about 6 official state things. There are already honored plants, including the official fruit, the peach. Supporters say the recognition is about protecting and increasing awareness of an interesting species found only in one spot on the globe, the upper part of the South Carolina coast and a small sliver of southeast North Carolina. I'm Norman Hall.
An attempt to recall New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell has failed. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards says the number of ballot signatures required to force a referendum fell short by approximately 18,000. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, so they banjo, guitar, and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracy Mirna.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. It is the middle of the week. Cloudy, but looks brighter out. I guess maybe it's less ominous, but it's supposed to be like 80 today. And windy. So get used to that. Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. By the way, if you ever miss any part of the show, I always remind people at the end of the show, but you can always check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksbttv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and there you'll find all of our interviews. And usually after the show, Roy will go in and separate the interviews from the main portion of the show, so you don't have to fast forward and rewind through the whole show just to get to the part you want to. So now, unless you want to hear the off banter tough stuff that's not really part of an interview, then you got to hit the whole show. But if you're just trying to catch an interview, like for instance, we'll have Crystal here in just a little bit from the Humane Society join us. If you want to catch that later on, you can do so, ksvptv.com, or just hang out here in a few minutes. We'll have it for you. So either way, we got you. I was talking about Scrubs Camp earlier and all that with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Well, later on in the summer, this is a little farther out, but they've got a couple other events you might want to put on the radar for your kids. Coming up in July, they've got their Art Fest Summer Camp 2023. It's July 17th through the 21st. It's a visual arts camp where students will make projects using a variety of materials such as paint, clay, color pencils, etc. All the supplies included as part of the event, plus a snack. Registration is open now. Spots are limited. It's for kindergarten through 5th grade. They're going to meet from 9 to noon during that week of camp. And then 6th through 12th grade will meet from 2 to 5. So it's kindergarten through 12th grade. If you have any questions, the person you need to contact is Bailey Cole. You can reach out at 979-676-1213, 979-676-1213. And that's Anna Muir's art department, their Art Fest Camp 2023. Coming up in June, a little bit earlier, is their Kids College. That's June 12th through the 16th. And this is for students aged 8 through 12. Actually, I should take that back. It's actually 3 different kids' college things, and the ages vary just slightly. But they offer 3 different courses for kids to kind of get their feet wet with. First one is fashion designer, talent expressions. They learn about fashion and stuff like that. That's for kids 8 through 12 from 9 to 11 during that week in June. They also have a learning STEM with Hot Wheels, and this is for ages 4 through 8, little kids. And so they'll use Hot Wheels and things and build obstacle courses and learn about STEM. And then for kids ages 7 through 12, they have survival tactics, and they'll meet from 2 to 4 during that week. And you're thinking, why does a 7-year-old need survival tactics? And I'm thinking, no, we're not talking about Rambo here. We're talking about if you get put in a scenario where you, like, say we live in New Mexico. New Mexico's rural. You start driving in the middle of nowhere and the car breaks down and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, and it might be a while before someone gets to you to help you. These skills kind of give you some things to do so you can survive if you get put in one of those perilous situations. I mean, every year you hear a story about somebody up north, like up near Taos, like crashing off a guardrail and getting stuck in the woods, and they end up sitting there for a week because no one finds them. They are hiking and they get stuck there for a week because no one finds them. It helps them, if they ever get put in those scenarios. Probably not as a 7-year-old by themselves, but certainly, they learn the lessons young, and, maybe as an adult they get put in a scenario, well, that stuff might rub off, I learned it all in Scouts, so I could do it. I don't. Well, I mean, it's just, it happens, it happens. But so I would highly recommend, I think it's a great idea for kids to know that kind of stuff. But anyway, if you're interested, you can contact Vicki Thomas with the college for more information. The deadline to register is May 31st, so you got a little bit of time. But contact Vicki Thomas if you're interested in either of these classes through the Kids College. Again, survival tactics, learning STEM with Hot Wheels, or fashion designer, talented expressions. Reach out to Vicki at 575-624-7164. Again, 575-624-7164. So,
when you were looking at the window just now and the sunlight hitting your face, you kind of look like all those posters for like all these celebrity satire shows.
Majestic.
Or like that new movie with Owen Wilson about the Bob Ross.
Oh, yeah.
The paint.
Another fine example of that, look at the cover of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Or that's what I was thinking of.
All I can think of with Steve Carell just kind of...
Yeah, like all those posters. I don't know why that's a post. I don't know why that's a trope for a poster, but it's like...
Well,
excuse me.
To be honest, those photos remind me of...
There's another one I'm thinking of, too.
Yeah. Well, some of those photos remind me of, like, the 80s school pictures.
Okay.
And it was 80s. Not now, not prior, but there was a hot minute during the 80s there where they loved to do, like, imposing of your face onto other angles. Kind of like the Step Brothers photo that kind of everyone, manipulates and has fun with.
Yeah.
But I remember having one. If you dig through those old photos... There's like a picture of me and I'm like sitting there in the normal school photo portrait, like, and then up in the corner is like this profile shot of me looking off into nowhere or something, kind of like he's reflecting, and that was like a thing back then to show those. And every once in a while you see those 80s photos. So whenever I see the 40-Year-Old Virgin poster or
the paint,
the paint or whatever the Bob Ross movie is, it's same. I feel like they're homaging that time period. And but yeah, I grew up in that. I remember those photos. And did you find it yet? I guess my wife has it.
That's such a terrible name for a movie, by the way. Paint.
Well, it's about painting. I'm gonna watch it
because you say the name of the movie, but no one knows you're talking about a movie. They just think you're talking about actual paint.
Yeah. What did I do yesterday? I looked something. Oh, I remember.
I watched Paint.
I could not remember Wayne Newton's name to save my life yesterday at lunch. We were trying to, I don't even remember how it came up in a conversation, but we couldn't remember. I was like, what? The singer, the guy, the Vegas and all. I couldn't remember Wayne Newton. And so I finally said, forget it. I'm going to Google it. And the first thing I could think to Google to figure out who Wayne Newton was Vegas Vacation.
Oh.
So I just typed in Vegas Vacation thinking I'm going to get the thing for the cast. And I did eventually, but all I got was a bunch of Vegas Vacation, websites. Hey, party in Vegas. I'm like, oh no, I just want to know who Wayne Newton is.
Yeah.
Find that name. And then of course someone said Wayne Newton. I was like, of course, Wayne Newton. But for a hot minute, I got to that point where I was like, I'm Googling. Yeah. But I couldn't, I was trying to think of a reference. I was like, Donkashane? And I was like, I don't know how to spell Donkashane. Vegas Vacation.
That's Mike and his brother.
That looks exactly like the Step Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's the one we did at that's the one we did in Ocean City.
They imposed the hair.
Yeah, that's the actual Step Brothers picture, but they photoshopped me and my brother in.
Just used her face.
I was like, is that Mike's real hair?
No.
Yes, I've bald so much that I used to be short and curly.
Isn't that funny?
Used to have the what is it, the Garfunkel hair.
Yes, I did. I had a Brillo head. No, that's Will Ferrell's head. I think I'm Will Ferrell now.
Oh no, that's John C. Riley's head.
Am I John C. Riley or Will Ferrell?
Chris was Will Ferrell.
I couldn't remember which one I was.
Actually, I have this weird problem with Wayne Newton where I always get him mixed up with Paul Newman for some reason. Just the one syllable and then Newman, like that.
Well, and they're both icons. I mean, Paul Newman, of course.
And so whenever I hear Wayne Newton, I think of the actor, and when I hear Paul Newman, I think of the singer.
Well, and Wayne's acted. I mean, he's a singer by trade, but he's been in, Vegas Vacation, but he's in other movies too and stuff over the years. So, Wayne Newton, that was us. So all that started a whole diatribe on Vegas Vacation because I couldn't remember Wayne Newton. Yeah, that's my caveman picture. I'm photoshopping.
Oh, that's horrifying.
That was from years ago.
That's
Mike with hair.
That's not my hair.
Yeah, Crystal just walked in. So
the body's mine, though. That's my body. I'm kidding. I look good in that picture.
You look like that famous painting of the Mars eating his own child.
And what she's pulling up this was back when I worked at the Mix 106. Yeah, that's my Civil War soldier photo. There's one floating around There's also one floating around of me as dead Kennedy, but that's another. There's that one I didn't share as much, but there's the
astronaut one.
There's one of me. So okay, let me go back for she's showing these pictures. So back in the day, I worked. It was Sean and I, and we did the Mix 106. We were and I was the morning guy there, and so. And this was right when websites were popular, and go check out our website. MySpace was a thing, and all that, and so.
That last picture looked like MODOK.
And so they did they put up on the website like the bios for us and all that. And I said, I want to go crazy over the top with the bio, just something stupid. So I basically found random photos, and this was like in the early days of Photoshop. And I knew a friend that knew Photoshop because I certainly didn't. And I was like, hey, if I give you these pictures, can you put my face on? So I found these random pictures. And I created a whole story around it. And it started me as a caveman, and that was that picture. And then evoluting up to during the Civil War, where I'm a Civil War soldier. And then I go to space. Oh, I got assassinated. That was in there. And there's actually one of the photos was the JFK autopsy photo. It's pretty morbid. And but instead of his face, it was mine.
I don't think I've ever seen that actual photo.
Yeah. And so there's a whole series of about a half dozen of those photos, and it's all from that story that I wonder if you ever dig on the internet, that's still out there in perpetuity. But and so a lot of those pictures are from those days. Which one did you just show her?
The Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. That one had nothing to do with the story. That was just me and my brother being stupid. But
for a second, I thought that was a real picture.
Well, it's a real picture. It's just not really me in the picture.
Just the face, not
a true photograph.
Yeah, it's my face. Well, and it was a deal in Ocean City, Maryland. It's Ocean City's
on the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's on the boardwalk. It's like your carnivals and parlor games and all. But they have all these little shops to suck money out of you and do all these things, and you buy T-shirts, overpriced T-shirts, and French fries and whatnot. But they had this room where you could go and they took like famous pictures from all of movies. Like if you wanted to be like Billy the Kid, or you wanted to be, any movie from the 80s or 90s, pretty much. The Hangover. You wanted to be the cast of The Hangover. You could be in there and do it. They had one for Step Brothers, and me and my brother, that's one of our favorite movies. We're big Will Ferrell guys. Anchorman, we quote lines to each other. We're kind of weird like that. But Step Brothers was one of those movies, and so I saw Step Brothers, like, dude, you and I got to do this. And so
was Sherlock Holmes one of those movies?
He was in a movie. You could get your picture of Sherlock Holmes, but
no, I mean, was that one of the movies that you shared with your brother?
No.
Because that's also John C. Reilly. And
that's later. We were more his earlier stuff. The like Anchorman. Like we used to do fantasy football league, and like my brother's theme to the league would be Anchorman, and so all of our team names and teams had to be Anchorman related jokes and things, and so that just stuff we've done over the years. We've always had that. That I still haven't seen that movie.
Me neither.
That I saw TBS was showing it one time, and I was like, do I want to sit down? And because I've heard so many bad things about it, I'm just like,
yeah, I know it's like really,
like they pulled it from theaters, and Netflix pretty much got it for free. They were just like, this movie's so bad you want it, and Netflix like, all right, we'll throw it up there. It was not widely panned.
It was crazily panned.
Yeah, I for that alone, I kind of want to see it, but we'll see. But anyway, all those pictures she's showing you are related back to that. I got way off topic here. All right, it is Crystal is here, so we probably need to get rolling here. So it is 20 minutes after 9. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like all the rain will be staying to our north. We'll get a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Low pressure moving through, and that means gusty wind for us as high as 45 miles per hour and very warm. Our highs 75 to 80. Cloudy overnight, still windy, and our low in the upper 40s, and then we'll be in the low 70s and a mix of sunshine and clouds coming up on Thursday, and the gusty wind continues. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 62 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 37%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 12 miles per hour. We do have a wind advisory kicking in at 11 o'clock this morning. That will remain in effect through 7 p.m. this evening. Guess why? Because it's going to be windy. Patchy blowing dust, high of 81 under partly cloudy skies today. Winds will be out of the southwest this morning, 15 to 20. Later in the day, increasing 25 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. For tonight, looking at mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 48 degrees. Winds will remain blowing out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. After midnight, the winds will drop down 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, 73 tomorrow. Windy once again with winds out of the east, 5 to 10 in the morning. 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 by tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 39. Winds remain breezy out of the northwest, 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 15 after midnight. Friday, sunny, 65 for a high, breezy. Sensing a pattern here. Winds out of the northwest, 10 to 15, early. Later in the day, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. For the weekend, sunny 69 for a high, sunny and 70 on Sunday. And then it looks like we'll be in the mid-upper 60s to start next week as well. So they don't talk about wind yet, but I'm sure it'll be there. All right, it is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then Crystal Noble will join us with the Humane Society on the other side. Don't go away. Wearing that hat today, not her Roswell Bee hat, her dog and cat hat. That's up next.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
With high customer ratings, you can trust your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through March 26th, buy 3, get 1 free on select in-stock Sumitomo or Cooper branded tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers. At participating locations, no cash value.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being being dealt a bad hand genetically, it left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's one of those days where I like to talk about history and no one else does. And you can see it in the deer in headlights real quick when you start talking about things. Good morning.
Good morning.
26 minutes after 9. Krista Noble with the Roswell Humane Society joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, we were talking about old movies and I got on a tangent. As I do. I was sharing the beauties of the movie Patton with people. They don't, it's a good movie. Anyway, how's life at the Humane Society
It
this
is
morning?
good. So all this week, the kennels and the thrift store are closed.
Okay.
We'll all reopen.
Are y'all doing some work down at the...
The thrift store is doing spring cleaning and getting some things off and taken down, cleaned, wiped behind.
Getting ready for the spring line or summer line or whatever you want to call it.
Changing out winter clothes over to spring clothes, swapping out stuff so that way it's all new.
Getting seasonal.
And getting all the dirt off the walls from all of our breezy days.
The dust.
Yeah. And then on our side, we're kind of doing the same thing, and then we have got a little bit of plumbing work going on. So it just makes it easier for the plumbers to not have to work around customers.
Sure. They can go in and tear up what they got to tear up and fix what they got to fix. So, very good.
Yes.
Yeah, anytime you get with plumbing, and then you're like, all right, and they start bringing in jackhammers, you're like, oh, man.
Every time you hear you're like, that's money.
Yeah, like, there's my floor being tore up to fix a leaky pipe. But
yes.
But so hopefully next week.
We'll be open. We'll reopen on Tuesday, and then the thrift store will reopen on Wednesday.
Okay. But in the meantime, you can shop for animals online and kind of look and see all the animals that are calling the Humane Society home right now.
We do have only a few cats available.
Okay.
Because we just had to transport.
Well, that's good. That's the idea, is to get home to these cats and dogs.
And we've had a few that have come in new, but they're not ready on vaccinations yet.
Okay. So they're in quarantine.
They're still in quarantine, but they're not on the website just yet.
Okay. So probably by the end of the week they will be.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you are shopping and looking at all the furry friends on the website, if you do see not available next to it, that just means they're in quarantine. It does not mean they've been adopted. If they've been adopted, you won't see them on the website.
No.
So if you see not available, that they're still looking for a loving home. They're just either waiting on vaccinations or they're puppies or kittens that are not heavy enough yet to be available to be separated from mom or be a part of someone's home yet. And so that's the reason why. So if you do see one of those animals and you're like, oh, I love this one, but it's not available, call, check in, say, hey, what's the status? And they'll keep you up to date.
There's also a link on there to send us a question.
Okay.
So you could send
so you
it
can do it
via
right
email.
through online if you don't want to call.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or like
is this part of the new fancy?
If you're scrolling through at midnight, you can hit
you don't want to
contact us. You can hit contact us, and then it'll ask you a couple of questions, and then it'll send us an email.
Cool. And then you'll get back with them in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So great way to do it. That way you don't have to get on the phone. But I know some people get antsy. Just don't do it at midnight. Wait till hours of operation.
You'll just get an answering machine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're closed this week. I imagine you're diddy bopping around, but you're not exactly, answering phones and doing public stuff.
We're checking the messages and then calling people back so that way we can try to keep up with people and their needs.
So I guess this week you're just checking on animals, taking care of them, and doing the day-to-day that animals need to live.
And some extra cleaning of our own, dusting things that you don't normally get to dust when you're open. So
Sure. Yeah, like when you got company coming and you clean under the couch for the first time in like 3 years, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, no, okay. But I know it's a little bit early, but we have this is our first time attending it, and this is the second time they've done it.
I just saw this morning on Facebook. Yeah.
The Eagles is doing a dog show.
Yes.
And they have invited us to bring out some adoptable pets.
Cool.
So in order to sign up for the dog show, if you are not an Eagles member, you do have to be signed in.
Okay.
It is $10 per category. So if you want to enter your dog in all 3 categories, it would be $30.
Okay.
The categories are cutest, ugliest, and best dressed.
Okay.
Grand prize for best overall, which they don't list what the prize is, so it makes me wonder.
Thinks I'm probably pretty big.
But it's going to be April 29th.
Okay, so you got about a month to get her done here.
At the Eagles, and it's going to be from 2 to 5.
Okay. And the Eagles are there on Sunset.
Yes.
The Eagles.
3201 South Sunset.
Yep. We used to not live too far from there back years ago. But, so we go there, and, of course, if you're a member of the Eagles, then you probably get to register and all that. But if you would like to be a part and you're not an Eagle member, then reach out, and there's a registration. If you have questions, call the Humane Society. They'll be happy to kind of give you what you need to do to get your dog signed. So ugliest, prettiest, or cutest, and best dressed. So that's pretty broad categories. To be honest, ugly and cute's a fine line.
Because you could be so ugly, you're cute, and then you could be so cute, you're ugly.
I've seen like those Chihuahua types that they like the eyes aren't in the same spot, and the ears are like all over the place.
The Chinese crested.
Yeah, and you're like, well, it's ugly, but there's in a cute way, It's kind of it's like my ugly little stepchild here. It's not, you love it because it's, unique.
We have some of the dogs, like people will come in to do like introductions with their dogs. Yeah. And it's funny because we get to see a lot of different dogs versus just the ones we've taken into the shelters.
Sure.
And so this lady had brought her dog in one day, and I was like, that's a face only a mother can love. And she goes, yes, I know. Well, the dog had some surgery, so it was removed an eye, but the way they had to do it, it kind of sunk the side of the face in.
Oh, okay. So it gave it a caved-in look on the one side.
Yeah, so it was like popped and sunk, and I was like, poor baby.
Yeah.
But didn't bother him, didn't act no different, was perfectly fine. And she goes, that is a face only a mother can love.
Well, and to be honest, if you see dogs like that are dealing with a handicap in some way, like a 3-legged dog or something.
The majority of them don't even let it face them.
They're usually the happiest pets ever. It's like you think, I think the only hang-ups are we, the humans, that create the hang-ups. They're like, I'm here loving, living, eating, and doing my life,
I'll tell you right now, I have a 3-legged boxer who, if he had 4 legs, I could not keep up with him.
Yeah.
Because at 3 legs, he's still a challenge. He's fast. My husband calls him a dragster because he locks down and his butt goes up and he goes, and I'm like, God, how can you run as fast as the horse and you've only got 3 legs?
Hey, he's got 3 legs but 4 horsepower legs.
Right?
4-leg horsepower.
Him and the horse race each other up and down the line.
That's
and
cool.
I'm like, how are you keeping up with the horse?
See, that's awesome. To me, that's a story, and, despite life's
just because they have a disability or
we'll call it a
handicap, they've got a slight handicap. That does not mean that they are incapable of being great pets, nor does that mean they're incapable of performing the same as others.
Nor is that deficiency defining that dog's life. That dog's just living the dog's life, same as it would whether it had 4 legs or 3, and sounds like not missing a beat here.
No.
So that's
like I said, if he had all 4 legs, I probably would not be able to keep up with them.
Yeah, I think that's a lesson we humans need to kind of take in sometimes.
Well, we have a 3-legged dog at the shelter. Her name is Ari, and it's her back leg that has been amputated.
Okay.
When we had got her, the lady.
And that might be a little trickier because that's probably when they push off more than the fronts. But I don't know. I'm just guessing.
She can still get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very active, loves to go on walks. We have a couple of volunteers that come throughout the week and walk dogs, and she's one of them that will come back still as active as she left.
Cool.
She's super sweet. She loves everybody. She loves new things. She loves to go on walks. And you really can't tell she's missing a leg until you actually there's nothing there.
We're missing some parts here.
Yeah. I didn't receive all of the parts in the box. But she's sweet. She's lovable. She's friendly.
And of course, maybe that's just because they went through what they went through and they got some loving human. You know what I mean? And
the lady that had to release her,
they don't take it for granted. Maybe.
No, the lady that had to release her had actually adopted her from a shelter in Lubbock, and her leg had already been amputated prior to her adopting her.
Okay.
So she's she wasn't for sure of the full story.
Sure.
And then the lady came into some medical issues that she wasn't able to take her with because she was having to relocate to a closer cancer treatment facility.
You almost wonder a dog like that, whether it was found on the side of the road, damaged by maybe got in a fight with another animal or something,
Or hit by a car.
Hit by a car, and it was picked up, and because I imagine when a dog goes through something like that, and it does get, I tend to think that they get that and kind of they're that much more loving of people because they kind of realize that people saved my bacon here, and I mean,
Right.
yeah, they don't express it per se, but I think deep down they those are people that help me. They're good people. They're people I want to show my loyalty to.
I really wish we had a dog translator box that, we could hook up to the dog.
Right.
And then when the dog is barking or thinking in its head, it's telling us what the dog is thinking, or the cats, Well, I don't know. Maybe cats would be cussing us out all day long, but it'd be fun.
Well, they do both, actually.
It would be so easy to, to communicate, to see like, oh my God, they actually understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Versus they're like, oh, this is just the normal routine I see you do every day.
I'm telling you, pets can read a room probably better than humans can most of the time. And it
Right.
don't matter if it's cat, dog, or if they spend time with you and your family, they know they can read the temperature of what's going on and when things are right and when things aren't right, and they can appreciate that. And I can, I just have too much evidence over the years of being a cat and dog owner. If I'm sick and they act a certain way around me and try to be, they do things differently than when I'm acting normal, and you're not going to tell me they may not know exactly what's going on, but they know, they can sense
They
that
can sense it, and that's
things
why
aren't
they
right.
have the service dogs that are able to sense seizures with epileptics prior to the seizure, or if somebody has blackout spells,
Yeah.
they're able to sense it and alert the person to sit down, lay down, or something, so that way they can not hurt themselves further than what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty amazing.
a human can't sense that in another
Yeah.
human 10 minutes prior.
Yeah.
But a
Maybe
dog?
give off a smell or something. I don't know. But.
Yeah, and like we always say, like, animals react differently to people with certain mental states.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that have certain disabilities that animals just react 100% different to. And then there's some animals that, can respond to anything just fine and not have a problem. But when you have somebody who has a medical issue and that animal's alerting on it, that means that animal is so in tune with that person that they've imprinted on them.
That's pretty cool, actually. I love that that's that
I will say
bond.
that my dogs already know if I've had a super bad day at work
They can tell.
because when I get home and taking them outside to go to the bathroom, I don't get tail whipped by the Great Dane. And the boxer doesn't try to trip me. He's like, all right, we're just going to go outside.
Today's not the day for shenanigans, all right.
And then they'll go do their business, and then they'll come inside, and then they'll both pile on top of me. And I'm like, I cannot breathe with 200 pounds of y'all on me.
It's all right. We're gonna put the love back in you.
Yeah, they're just like, smash, Mom.
Yeah. Well, the cats do that to Kim. They'll get up, and she'll get one like laying right here, like right in her, right there.
When you have a Great Dane that thinks he should sit on your chest, that's a whole new story of a lap dog. Yeah.
Yeah. I love when big dogs think they're lap dogs, except for when the paw hits. I don't know how many times I've taken a paw to the groin because a big
My
dog.
husband has recently suffered some traumatic injury.
Yeah, that is not.
I don't know if I have the picture.
Cat's not much better. It's not. I've had a few of those of leaping off the lap and using my body parts as a launching point was not comfortable. But anyway, yeah. So please, if you're looking to adopt, don't forget those ones that generally get walked by too sometimes. Some of those cages that maybe it is a dog or a cat that's dealing with some other issues, and let's face it, people they walk right by that one. Then keep visit it. You might just see you're the best friend you ever had sitting right there next to you, but you won't look at it because it's got 3 legs or it's got a missing eye or something.
We have people, and I love when people come and ask us if we have a more shy or more reserved animal, because that's the animal that they're looking for, because they want to watch that animal bloom and develop into their household.
Gotcha. Give it a life where it can feel free to open up.
Right. And when you put the time, the commitment, and the effort into helping that animal develop and bloom into a beautiful being, it shows that you have love for animals.
Absolutely.
And knowing that you sought out looking for that specific type of animal, an animal that's not happy-go-lucky and not running all over the place, you know, one that's kind of like, I don't know about all this. You know, you want to earn that animal's trust. You want to put the time and effort into that animal. And not everybody has the time to do that, but the people that do come forth and that's what they look at, you know, we really appreciate that because we do get so many of them in the shelters that just don't understand why they're there. They don't adapt very well. They're not mean or aggressive. They're just not at the front of the kennel trying to get everybody's attention.
Sure. Yeah, they're in an uncomfortable environment and they're not going to act comfortable in that environment.
No.
But you'll also find the people that do that also find that they probably just acquired a friend that will go through a wall for them. You know what I mean? It's because
the Kool-Aid man running through the wall for you.
What tends to happen with some of those dogs or cats is they get that one human loyalty thing and they will do anything. And now, granted, they get extreme with that one, you know, and it's like, you know, pet me here this way and that, but they will open up to that one person. So I always suggest if you do have a dog like that, that's kind of like that, maybe introduce your friends slowly just so the dog isn't, not that you want it loyal to you, but you also want it to be comfortable with other people in the room too.
You want to slowly integrate it to others so that way you're not overly stimulating it, but at the same time you are showing him that not all people are bad.
Yeah, that way that you and the pet can hang out in the room with your friends and the pet doesn't feel threatened by your friends in the room. And so, but again, people that deal with these kind of animals all the time, they kind of know this stuff. They've learned through trial and error over the years and what works and what doesn't work. So. But it's
we
one
also,
of the things, but ask too if you want those and you're thinking, hey, and if you talk to Crystal or any of the folks there at the Humane Society, all of them are pet lovers. All of them will give you some advice on how to deal with some of that stuff.
Yeah, we have a couple that have been there quite a while. It's their brother and sister. It's Lady Blue and Blue Boy. They came in completely terrified of people because they had only ever been around one person their entire life, and now we have strangers that are able to walk them at the park.
Cool.
And they're not scared of everything. They are shy, but they're not fearful.
They're light years ahead of where they were when you first walked through your doors. Yeah.
And, you know, when they see the harness and the leash, they know, hey, we're going outside. We're going to the park.
They associate it with good things.
We're going to go get treats.
Yeah.
We're going to get brushed. And to see them go from in the corner of the kennel terrified because they've never seen another human being to at the front of the kennel and welcoming new people to pet them. That's an improvement.
That's a 180-degree turn right there.
It is.
Yeah.
And it just shows that a little bit of time, a little bit of effort can make a difference in their lives.
Absolutely. And and to be honest, it doesn't take that much.
No.
I mean, if you just being loving, being
cats
committed.
are a different story.
Yeah. Although in my experience with cats, if, you know, you treat them nice, they'll come around. They will eventually, you know, even the mean ones will, you know, at least accept your towel in the room.
They take a little bit longer.
Yeah. But then again, like Kim and I's cats, I mean, I don't know what they do without us at this point. We're their whole world. We're it. It's you know, we get greeted like dogs at the door. They come flopping on the ground and want rub downs as soon as we walk in the house. They sleep with us. They can't go take a shower or go to the bathroom without them.
Banging on the door.
Yeah, they literally bang on the door yelling at you to let them in.
Yeah. We have a small bathroom, and all three dogs are like, hey, you're going to go pee, I'm going to. And I'm like, there's no room for me and y'all.
Like one of our cats, if I'll leave the door open on the shower, like if I take a shower a lot now, just so the cat can come in, and she'll go, I have the two curtains between the shower. She'll go right between those curtains and sit and hang out with me and watch and take a shower. I'll go and put my hand up to the thing, and she'll bump her head on it and want to be blubbed on, and it's and she just hangs out there. Like the other day, her tail got wet because it kind of dipped down below the curtain,
the shower curtain,
and then I moved, and the water from the shower hit her tail, and I saw her. I was like, sorry, but I mean, she's like, and then she licks the wall afterwards, but that's another thing. But
yeah,
but that's our life now. And those I couldn't imagine our life being different, you know, without that, you know. So it's a cool thing, you know. Come adopt pets.
when Mike and I met and he was coming over to my apartment, I had a cat. And she wasn't very social. I was just her social circle. And
she was
when
one of
Mike-
those one cat people.
Yeah. And when Mike moved in, it took her 2 months to accept Mike as
My mom
part of
had
the
a cat
circle.
that we used to call Church from Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
The only person that cat liked was my mom. You couldn't touch her. I have scars from that cat still to this day. She was my mom's guard cat. If I went to give my mom a hug or anything before leaving the house, she would attack whoever was near my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy and I went a few rounds for a while there, but then we came to be good friends after that. Yeah. She even towards
You were part of her
after a while, yeah, she was sleeping with me. She was doing all the things she did with most of the things she did with Kim, not all of them, but she
The
was very-
horrible, most scariest part of my life was my mom had to go out of town. So I'm stuck taking care of the cat. And I'm sleeping, and the cat's asleep on the pillow next to me, and I turn and I look, and I'm like, I'm going to die because her claws are like right here by my face.
Yeah.
And she makes eye contact with me, and she just gives this low, deep growl. So I close my eyes, and I
Oh
turn
my
back, and I'm
gosh.
like, I'm going to die.
But your mom's not here. I'm your only food source for the next few days. You better keep me alive.
Yeah, she was. Her real name was Nike, but we all called her Church because the only person she ever loved was my mom. And that cat was like 19 years old, and I'm still a part of this cat's life at 19 years of her life, and she still hates me.
In 19, they're very set in their ways. So you ain't teaching that cat new tricks at 19.
Kitten came into our life at this size.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very
And-
set in the ways. So that makes sense why if it went that long with pretty much your mom as its sole, provider, I could see why it was.
But there was other people that lived in the house with my mom.
Yeah, but
and
they
she
didn't-
still hated everybody.
But they are not the ones that probably fed her, groomed her, or you know what I mean? When they get who's the one that puts the food in the bowl, who's the one that puts the water, who cleans the litter box out.
She knew who she belonged to.
Yeah.
Cats are, you've got to earn their trust
Yeah.
a whole lot differently than you do dogs.
But I'm telling you, our two, I mean, they almost got dog-like traits in some of the things.
And some cats do. We have
Yeah.
a couple of cats there that roll over and they play fetch.
Yeah.
We'll throw one of the toys and they'll run and get it and bring it back to you.
Yeah, they won't bring it back, but they'll go chase them.
They'll go to it when we.
Yeah, a
no
lot
play,
of
but they
fake
don't bring
mice
it
laying
back.
around that they like to attack, and once in a while they get. Is it like a trophy? Yeah, and so I'll hear usually Hannah more than the other one, but
Make that weird.
yeah, they'll pick up the mouse and walk around the house going.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's depressed or happy that she caught a mouse and trying to tell everybody. I'm not sure what's
Usually
going on
have that
there.
mouse in
I just look at Hannah, what's up? And she kind of drops and looks at me like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're looking to add some love to your home, please. Like I
Fun
said,
stories,
this week,
because it makes your workday better when you go to work and tell people, what my dog or cat did last night.
Yeah. They add so much to your life, into your home, and if you do it that way and incorporate them fully into your family, I guarantee you'll probably be a pet owner the rest of your life, just because you'll so love that experience. It's just it's like any other life. You have kids. There's days where the kids do things, and pets are no different. There's gonna be days you're like, I'm gonna kill this cat, chewed my shoes up. This dog's done. But it's just like kids. You have that day, but then you have those moments where you're mad, you're ticked off at the world, and you just had a bad day at work. You come home and your dog or cat comes up and just puts their head on your lap and is like, hey, and you're like, all right, at least there's something good today.
Yeah.
And that's so please, like we said, this week spring cleaning's going on, so the facilities are actually closed to people, but you can still go to roswellhumane.org and see the pets available for adoption. Of course, if you have any questions or anything, you'll be able to reach out. If you want to become a member of the Humane Society, this week is the best way to support them is sign up for membership.
And you can do that online too.
Yeah, go again, roswellhumane.org. You can, your kids, your parents, your pets, anybody can be a member of the Humane Society, and you'll get the newsletters each quarter. You'll get actually when they have the annual meetings, you do get a say. I don't think you get to vote for your dog though. You only get one vote. Like I'm a member of my dog. My dog likes this person, and I don't think you get to do that. But yeah. My pet rock is voting for this so on the board. But
what sound does a pet rock make?
I guess it depends how hard you throw it. But it's the best way to support because your membership fees, all of that go back to paying for vet bills or paying for the light bill or cleaning supplies, keeping the upkeep of keeping the Humane Society going. Your membership contributes to that. So, and then of course next week when everything opens back up, get on out to the thrift store. Was it Wednesday mornings?
Wednesday morning at 10.
That's when the new stuff gets out there. Make sure you shop and support. And of course, if you've got things to donate this week, like I said, they're cleaning, but maybe put a voicemail in and say, hey, I got a bed. Get a hold of me later if you got room for it, and they'll talk.
And I know Camilla's already scheduling out for pickups.
Okay.
They're trying to get some room cleared so that way we can actually put some more bigger furniture in there.
Nice. So, but if you do have some items like that, this week, call ahead for everything this week. But
Please.
But if it's smaller stuff, you can usually drop it off. But if it's like furniture or something bulky, something that's going to require space, you might want to call and make arrangements and make sure. Because not that they don't want it, but there's only X amount of room to store things. And if it's an item that may sit there for a while, it may just not be the best time to have it in the storage until. But they say, hey, can you hold on to it for a month? And a month from now, summer, we'll have room for it. And
we want to make sure that it's a safe shopping environment,
Exactly.
that there's no trip hazards.
Yeah, you don't want it to become like your garage.
Walking on your tiptoes sideways.
Hey, there's a path from here to the door. That's all you need. Yeah, we don't want that either.
No.
So, but call ahead and give out the phone numbers for the Humane Society, the actual thrift store, and for the
For the thrift store is 575-623-9210. And for the kennels is 575-622-8950.
And now is the time if you want to sign up for the Eagles pet show.
I believe all of the registries are going to go directly through the Eagles.
Okay.
If you call down there, talk to Diana Udi.
Okay.
She'll be able to give you all the information for the registration. I don't have the phone number on here, but I can get it.
Okay. And of course, if you are a Facebook user, like and follow the Roswell Humane Society.
Yes,
on
and
Facebook.
the thrift store has their own page too.
Good deal. So follow them both. And by the way, you'll find the info for this event on the Humane Society's Facebook page too. So if you're trying to you want a visual to see what we're talking about, go to the Humane Society's Facebook page or the Eagles Facebook page. It's both there.
I'm going to send this to you. We now have a QR code.
Oh, good. High tech.
Yeah.
Scanning in the 2020s now. Check you out.
Right? They're like, you want a QR code? I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah. I'll take 2. So there is a QR code if you are tech enough to do that. If not, ask your grandkids. They'll help you out with that. But they'll bring up a little thing on your phone, and then you scan it like a barcode, and next thing you know, all your information pops up on your screen, and then you can fill out and register. So
the majority of the phones nowadays, you just open your camera and then set it over the QR code, and it automatically pops up and says, do you want to open? And you say yes.
I always like when TV commercials do it, and if you try to, you're like, oh, let me get my phone real quick, and you're like, stay on the screen. Oh, I missed it. Have to catch the next one. But you see
so
that
is
more
the QR code for the thrift store's Facebook page.
Perfect. I got it right here. All right, and I will. You know what? I will give this to Roy, who will put it on the video stream, so you can So if you're watching this interview and you go back later, just go into the comment section, and we'll have the QR code there. So I'll make sure Roy does that. So
perfect.
Good deal. And like I said. No going to the thrift store or the Humane Society shelter this week. It's all closed for spring cleaning. We'll return to normal, regular scheduled hours next week.
Yes.
And which is normally, like I said, Wednesday through Saturday for the thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shelter. What's the shelter hours?
Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Very good. And come on by. And like I said, but if you want to do little animal perusing and see the furry friends that are calling the Humane Society home, RoswellHumane.org. You can see every one of them, including the ones in quarantine. And of course, if you fall in love with one of those, shoot an email. There will be contact us next to each one. Do that, fill it out, and as soon as humanly possible, someone will get you information. And we said it every time, but Crystal and the staff want this kind of, especially for the quarantine stuff, because if you're making the effort to reach out and find out about this pet and keep checking in, I mean, don't harass them, because no one wants that. But if you're every week checking in or every couple days checking in on one of these pets, that's a clear indicator that you really want this pet to be a part of your home. And the Humane Society wants that too. So that's a good thing. So please inquire, ask questions. That definitely tells the Humane Society that you're the type of owner they're looking for. So
it just helps us know that, you're not on the whim shopping.
Exactly. You're doing your research, because pets are wonderful ideas. We just talked about all these wonderful memories and all these cool experiences you have as a pet owner. But if
there's
a responsibility. If you're not willing to pay for the food and the vet bills and incur all the costs and do all the necessary things for the health and welfare of this pet, then you should not be a pet owner. And that's, we love the pets too, but and want to, have fun, but you can't. Dogs aren't meant to be hanging out outside all the time. Cats certainly, and you can't just let them run loose. Even I know some people live out in the country and they live on ranches, and that's a little different. But most of us don't. We live in neighborhoods and all that, and you can't do that with a dog in the neighborhood. So that's what the Humane Society just wanted to prevent from happening.
We do.
So good deal. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Good deal. Well, as always, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday.
The bees again, but please, and then don't forget, April 29th is the Eagles 3187 pet contest, and also Adoption Day with the Humane Society. It's all going to be at the Eagles Lodge there on Sunset, 3201 South Sunset. Come and even if you don't want to compete, come and see all the cool dogs and cats. And
yeah, just come and watch.
Yeah, come watch and see who is the ugliest dog, the cutest dog, and the best dressed dog. I think Sean's got a shot for best dressed. If he puts on this tuxedo T-shirt, I think Sean's got a shot at winning.
Sean.
All right, 9:56. Quick break before we go. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. It was a mixed open for Wall Street this morning before stocks turned modestly higher in mid-morning trade. The market awaiting today's interest rate announcement from the Federal Reserve.
Many economists expect the Fed to announce a relatively modest quarter-point hike in its benchmark rate to roughly 4.9%, the highest point in nearly 16 years.
That's correspondent Donna Warder reporting. The British inflation rate accelerated for the first time in 4 months in February. The newly released figures surprised experts and increased pressure on the Bank of England to raise interest rates at its meeting to take place tomorrow. The Consumer Price Index in the UK jumped to 10.4% in the 12 months through February. That was up from 10.1% in the previous month. Analysts had expected that inflation in the UK would slow to 9.9%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us for today's show. Don't forget, if you missed any part, log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our videos there at your leisure. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Reaction has been strong on Capitol Hill with the prospect of former President Trump's arrest in New York. Correspondent Bob Agnew with that report.
Republicans are blasting alleged plans by Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg to arrest the former president in connection with charges of a cover-up in a hush money payment case. Senator Lindsey Graham told Fox News the arrest is, quote, going to blow up our country. Many Democrats and Republicans suspect arresting the former president could backfire on Democrats and bolster support for the former president heading into the primaries and the 2024 general election. Bob Agnew reports.